You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
Do you need that scratch?
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out, about to see the rest. Nuclear explosion sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, gross atomic waste. From deep within the core, gross atomic waste.
Hello and welcome to the 388th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks tonight. We have Ray. What's up, Ray?
Hello, hello.
And Jess. What's going on, Jess?
Hey, Andrew. Greeps, everybody.
What's up, everybody? Tonight we are getting into a little bit of adventuring into Fallout 1 with our dipping our toes into the next season of the Fallout Roundtable. And speaking of the Fallout Roundtable, thanks a lot to our guest from last week. It was quite a pleasure. And get off my beach. No more. No more hobos on my beach. All right, so tonight, guys, let's probably loosey-goosey a show tonight. I didn't get a ton of gameplay myself in this weekend because I was doing recording a ton of music. I'm doing backing vocals, trying to get all of my harmonies done on a couple of albums before Christmas time swings around. I wanted to get these dumb albums out. Ray, you know that song I wrote for your podcast like 2-3 years ago? Yeah, we're finally getting around to finishing that record.
Is it getting published?
Good Lord.
Nice.
Finally putting that thing out. Anyway, tonight we'll get into a little bit of our gameplay. Then we'll get into maybe just a little bit of Roundtable Fallout 1 stuff. I'll have Ray yell at me about rope again. Tell me where to. Jess will be like, "Hey, Andrew, you trade rope for mole rat bones or something."
We had a whole conversation off podcast about this.
Mole
Telling
rat
me to talk
bone-
to Seth.
Yeah, go to Seth and. I was like, wait, there's a town? They're like, yes, Andrew.
Yes.
Oh, Lord, I don't know. We'll get into a little bit of that in a little bit. Then, I was sort of, I don't want to say disappointed, you guys, because that sounds judgmental and mean, but you guys really stunk at Pigcorn last week. No offense.
I cannot deny that we were not good.
That was just terrible. So I not to be offensive, not to doubt your skills, but I made the super easiest Pigcorn ever. There should be just no doubts in your mind. You're nailing these things. First guess, first swing, hitting them out of the ballpark. If you can't get these, you are not a Fallout fan.
I am suddenly super sus. Like I saw it on the notes, and I'm like, "Oh, super easy Pigcorn, awesome!" Now,
like, uh-oh,
I am sus.
Yeah.
Oh, last week was novice difficulty. This week will be legendary.
Yeah, exactly. Mo's been pointing at me and saying "sus" all the time. I was like, what the fuck? Where are you getting that? Is that a YouTube thing? Why is everyone saying this? Like, yeah, everyone's suspect. He's suspect of me, or he's suspecting me of something.
If you've seen people playing Among Us, so it's from the game Among Us, and if he watches YouTube, yeah,
he's all over that shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's never heard the Weird Al song Yoda, but goes around singing it because one of his YouTube guys that he watches was singing yo 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 because he's really into the Lego Star Wars right now. So like that guy just happened to like on and off like just quip, just like a throwaway comment as he was playing the game or whatever, said yo 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 Yoda. So like Mo's just running around the house saying that all the time, and I try to play him the song. He doesn't want to hear the song. He just wants to say what the guy in the YouTube video was saying. You know what I mean? It's weird.
Oh, no.
But it's crazy. And I feel like my dad, when like he would roll his eyes when I'm like playing my Nirvana tapes as loud as I can. Like Mo's starting to like already roll his eyes at me about the YouTube. It's the same. It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing. It's hilarious. All right, guys. So Iguana Bits. Then some, scorecation shouts on the way out the door. War never changes. Happy Veterans Day, everyone. Thank you to all of our service members in our community for your service. Thanks so much. So let's go ahead and get into our stuff. Jess, did you get a chance to play any video games this week at all?
So it was not a heavy gameplay week this week.
All right.
Not like usual. I got some in, but it was all 76 for the most part. Well, 76 started out strong. We had to finish the sports and the trick-or-treat candy, right? So got in there. I mean, I did some sports hunting over the weekend. I definitely got my candy, although in the end, I fell short on the second week of the challenge. So first week, 5 and 5.
You didn't get the rifle range?
No, I got the rifle range.
Oh,
That
okay.
was for the limited edition.
Oh, no, that's something
25th
else.
anniversary.
You're right. That was a different goddamn thing.
So yeah,
You're
we
right.
had three things you're supposed to be keeping track of. I mean, that is a lot of things to keep track of in one game, plus scoreboard if I wasn't on Scorecation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I finished all that. So I do have my rifle range. So that's beautiful.
Sorry, I was late.
Oh, never the wrong time for Mo yelling Scorecation. So I got my rifle range on Saturday. That was great. But yeah, the candy the second week, while I managed to give out candy pretty much every day, I think I was like 4 out of 5 on that one, maybe 5 out of 5 on the trick-or-treating. I just wasn't doing as much. I wasn't doing my civic duty of getting candy from other bowls.
Getting out there and yeah.
If I saw friends, then I'd be like, oh, I'll make sure and grab candy from your bowl when I was on. But I wasn't on enough this week. So yeah, so finished sports, finished candy. Got some good prizes, but didn't get the apple bobbing, which, my goodness, the apple bobbing.
I don't even know what you're talking
apple
about.
bobbing. From all the videos, I didn't pick that up.
How about them apples? Yeah, no, we're getting a lot of juicy fruit. I'm just gonna say that people have done so many merges with it. It's funny. I was joking with Renee that like usually people count on some of our crew to like do the naughty merges, and stuff like that in the building community. This one, everybody jumped
I thought
out
I
as soon
had
as they saw
stumbled
it.
into the cyberpunk channel or something.
Oh my goodness!
All right, what did I miss? What happened?
So
here?
have you not seen many of the vids of people doing merges with the apple bobbing in 76, the new item? So
I have no clue what is happening. I'm not getting any notification. I'm not seeing anything in our Facebook group, the fucking Twitters. Did I just disconnect from the whole world? I don't know what's happening.
I'm sorry,
I haven't seen
Andrew.
anything.
Yeah, so especially on build groups in Facebook and a bit on Twitter, but especially in build groups on Facebook or Reddit or this and that.
Well,
people
I'm only
are
in
merging
14
They're
of
going
those.
headfirst into all kinds of things. And yeah, so that's the thing. I mean, I've seen casting couch builds. I've seen special dunk tanks. I've seen all kinds of stuff.
So what is this new dirty item?
It's called, I think it's called the apple bobbing bucket.
Oh my god. Nuh-uh.
It's bobbing for
No,
apples.
are you fucking blowjob kidding me? That's obnoxious. That is crazy.
They had to have known, right? They had
Oh
to have
my
known, but I've
is
never
crazy.
seen the overall community like jump on an item and just get so frisky with it. Like I thought when I did like a joke about that with Ward like a couple months ago, I'm like, oh god, I'm being so risque. And nope.
So what are the
Nope, they're all in.
what's the merge there? They're just putting it like near a bench, have someone sit down on the bench and have the bobs be near
Yeah, dropping it into the bench.
Yeah.
Yep, or into the hot tub or into the couch.
Ooh,
or
hot
what have you.
tub. There you go. You're gonna drown that poor girl. You don't want to do that.
So last night, for the camp tour, I'm just going to jump ahead. So we did everything camp like always on Thursday, and I actually had two things going on. So for camps showing off, it was just kind of a keep it in the family friends thing. We had Renee show 3 of her camps because my friend Renee has been she just moved across country, hasn't been able to stream as much or join us to show things. She hadn't been on since July. And she's a great builder, and she had been working on some camps. So we went and we saw a bunch of hers, and at one of her bars is called Beckett's Get Wet Bar, which she built it next to the waterfall, by Grafton Dam there. You've got the huge water spout coming in. So this is like her 4th version of it. She's rebuilt it a bunch of times. But the current one has like a little grotto. It's got like a swim up bar and everything there. Well, it's funny because if you're a bloodied builder, you're going to die there because, you're taking on rads and it's coming down. But she's got a stage on one side. She's got a nice swim up bar. And on the other side, she had apple bobbing. And it was funny. So during the tour,
that's
we had
hilarious.
someone sit down and went in for apple bobbing, just demonstrating, the properties of this device. And it was so good they passed out in the middle. So yeah, there's that. But,
Classy,
really,
classy jokes.
I
That's
know
great.
my 76 play
I love
has
it.
been, the collectibles and camps this week because the other big thing that I've been doing was the 1x1 contest. So some of you on Twitter, I mentioned it briefly on the show last week, I think, and some of you on Twitter have certainly seen it. Well, this week has been all about that contest. So it was a 1x1 contest for Fallout for Hope, where on behalf of UWN, I was doing a donation for every entry of $10 for every person who entered, and also entering them, it was a contest and Atom prizes and stuff like that. And we got 19 submissions total. So that was fantastic.
Great. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, always nervous when you do a kind of contest like that. Is anyone going to participate? But I thought it was a nice way for them to, without having to necessarily donate themselves, do something for charity and also get fun and creative and stuff like that. So yeah, people turned out for it, which was wonderful. But
you're also taking the risk. You're also taking the risk that 400 people would.
I wrote into the rules the maximum $300. Yes. I'll be honest. If you look at the rules, there was a caveat. There was an asterisk next to it, like when it said, every entrant will be maximum 300. Because yes.
Just as like, oh no, I'm financially ruined.
But it was well worth it. It's a good cause. I like to donate via friends anyway to and I like, if I'm going to get started this year for Fallout for Hope, like we're starting early this year compared to usually just in December. I'm like, I got to put my money where my mouth is and encourage others to help and, just make it fun for people. So I'm tapped out for now, but yeah, 19 entries. So this week,
amazing.
They pretty much all came in the last 5 days like they do. You know how it is with deadlines. So that's why this week was a lot of tweets and retweets and evaluating and listing and saving. And then I got 4 fantastic people to be my judges and help me judge the contest. So I want to say thank you to Ray and Andrew for helping me judge.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know we're not going to reveal who voted for what or whatever, but my thought was I wanted to have people who would be a bit neutral. You know what I mean? Like, no Fallout really well, no building and all that, but also neutral about the participants because, it as a build community, that a lot of people know each other too. So it was you two. I also got Mr. Church, who's a very well-known, a bit of a legend in the building community, and but also not one who's ever going to play favorite, so he could judge the technique. And then of course Marigold, because she was willing, knows Fallout, and she also wasn't going to be one to play favorites because she doesn't know a lot of the people who were submitting stuff. So we did that, and it was great. We did get a clear winner, and then it was funny because second place in both categories. The categories were Fallout Memory or Scene for the Fallout 25th anniversary, because I started this back in October. It was a 2-week contest. And, or Spooky Scary Stories, Halloween-based. So we had 3 second place ties in both categories. Like, there was just so many good entries.
Parody, huh? Wow.
Yeah, for real, right? But in both cases, the winner won by 1 or 2. Like there was a clear winner after the second places. And also there was a drawing for all the entries too. And I just want to mention Art of Blossoming won that. And Ryan Sullivan, who, not our Sullivan, but another one of our Sullivans. He also listens, but not Sullivan. He's often here with us in chat. But yeah, so congrats to those guys. And that was just wonderful. So the other thing I've been doing this week, besides that stuff, I wish I had more gameplay anecdotes, but I've been spending more time on Twitter this week than gaming.
Oh, no.
Usually I keep a balance. I've had a few weeks where that's been true, but yeah, I mean, like I love talking about gaming, but I like actually gaming more. But with the dumpster fire of what is happening on Twitter in many ways, and the fact that I think of it as a bit of a second home for me, as far as like a social place. It's been hard to look away, Andrew. Hard to look away.
I've been on Twitter a little bit extra this week too, as well. Just it's been weird over there. It's just like what? Why? 2 blue? What? Okay,
Yes.
How many blue check marks? It's just like
All kinds
oh
of
my
things
god,
stacking up.
it is a fucking mess, and I love watching it blow up in his goddamn face.
That's kind of the thing.
it's
Like,
great.
if I didn't love Twitter, I would like it more. But at the same time, if you're someone who really likes Twitter as much as you might be unhappy with what is happening in some ways. Like you enjoy these kinds of posts. Like, I mean, if you're a a regular Twitter shit poster, if you're the kind that like gets into the Twitter jokes and this and that, I mean, they have been beautiful this week. They're also chasing some brands away and causing all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, it's gonna tank, right? I mean, if you chase all your major advertisers away, there's not much living through that, even with the richest man on earth.
Right. So, we're not a show about that, but I will say, a lot of us are staying with the ship for now. Hopefully it finds a balance, or he divests himself before it all dies.
We all going to Mastodon. We all bailing, going to.
A lot of people are signing up on different Mastodon. Mastodon is a bit confusing. It's decentralized. Have you guys read much on this yet?
No, I just assumed that we would all just sneak away back to Discord probably.
Yeah, we've actually had a little extra activity on Discord partly because of that. So thank everybody in Discord. Thank you guys so much. Eric mentioned that Silior says pretty insane. It's been such a train wreck. I can't help but watch with popcorn too. And Sullivan says, yeah, we're everywhere. Got to watch those Sullivans.
Yeah. The Michael Jackson gif with the popcorn and the Thriller video. Totally. Right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we've got our Facebook group, which, issues there too. But
God,
at least our
fuck
group is
Facebook.
wonderful.
I don't like.
Yeah. But
it's funny seeing Twitter implode, but Facebook is just sad all around. Like, I wish there was just, come on.
We'll see what happens. Right now, I'm sure people who actually watch the news about Twitter who are interested are aware that they have frozen the blue checks, they have frozen name changes, they've done a lot of things, But
who could have
after
thought that they would have just
now.
Who would have thought that they would have just
of your staff.
They fired everyone, and then who would have thought when you could just pretend to be anyone on Earth that you could just take anyone's names and duplicate? Like, who would have thought there would be a problem there at all with any of that?
I mean,
right?
if you're going to pay $8, how would you possibly abuse it? That'll stop abuse and bots. Yeah, no, a lot of people find $8 to be well worth the joke.
Yeah, I'll pay $8 for a month to make a joke. Yeah.
What's even funnier, which I mean, funny, haha, is the fact that if you cancel your Twitter blue or the new verified check mark within the first 30 days, or if you get kicked, like if you do this and then you get kicked for the service for blah, 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 you can probably charge it back and not even pay, because you didn't actually receive the goods for even a month.
Yeah, sweet.
But anyway, so I've been doing more Twitter than that, which, but a lot of it's been Fallout Twitter too. So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I do love that. And then the last thing I've been doing is PC again. So on Sunday, I mean, I'm loving the new PC. A lot of my spare time has also been setting stuff up, setting up new macros. Talked about different things I set up in my room over the last few weeks, blah, blah, blah. I've got my new Stream Deck, which I love, and I'm getting stuff programmed on those, and so that's fun. But it's still not running quite right. It was still occasionally like USB ports freezing and such. So on Sunday, I replaced my power supply with the one from the old computer. And that was an adventure. After trying everything else, I figured I'd try this. And so when I opened it up, turned out the 650 watt I was supposed to have in there was only 600.
Uh-oh. And
I think that was maybe part of the issue, because even 650 was a little bit on the edge for keeping everything running in my PC. 600 was definitely low. So I've got 1,000 in there now. But I was nervous because I haven't really replaced power supplies. Like I have in the long past been building, but not like replacing.
Dude, look at you troubleshooting and solving problems. That's amazing. Good job.
Yeah, well, it worked.
That's amazing.
I posted some of that in the Discord as I was going through. So, yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, usually if it's widespread, flaky, weird stuff happening across, all the different,
power supply
functions, then it's usually the power supply.
Cool. Well, good job. Good job pinpointing it.
Thank you. But it does feel kind of like starting a new game of Skyrim, like the last couple of weeks with the new PC. Like it's been 3 weeks now, and I've been mostly like doing mods in a lot of ways. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm using it now for things, but when I'm not using it, I'm tweaking this, I'm tweaking that,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but yeah, that's my gameplay this week and my, not gameplay. How about you guys, Ray? Have you been any time to game?
Yeah, I might have found 30 or 40 hours somewhere to play a game or two.
Never disappoints.
I got so hooked on that shotgun build in Cyberpunk.
Fun. Yeah.
I ended up, I went through and I cleared out every single NCPD job and every single fixer job. And so now my map is completely clean. Nothing bad is happening in Night City anymore.
Wow.
Night
You completely
City.
cleaned up crime?
Completely. I killed everybody.
Oh my goodness.
It got so bad that I finally, had to make a decision. Okay, if you don't shoot at me, I won't kill you. And so, because most of the time, you kill anybody that has any kind of a bounty on them at all to get the street cred and the XP. But I was so close to maxing the character out. I completely maxed out my street cred, so I didn't have to kill randos anymore.
At what point do things regenerate or whatever?
I mean, there's always, little groups of people, standing around that if you get too close to them, you might get them to shoot at you, so you can kill them. But for the most part,
antagonizing people into to battles now.
Yeah, calling them names and stuff. See if I can piss them off. But it's played quite a bit of Skyrim. We recorded a show that came out on Monday, and
up in Solstheim again.
No, this was a quest called The Cause.
The Cause
and the Consequence. Yeah, it's a Mythic Dawn quest, and I went through it with two different characters, and the character that I posted in the Facebook group is definitely my favorite.
So with the armors,
yeah, it's a stealth dagger character, and you can go anywhere and kill anybody. There's a theme here.
In completely unrelated news, the cities of Whiterun, Solitude, and Riften are no longer experiencing any crime nor population.
Everyone is dead, so crime is zero. Congratulations.
No.
Well, it's always worse when I play with the dragon mods, that make the dragons more common and harder.
Oh yeah.
Because then you do end up, the dragons end up killing all the guards. And,
they would.
all the
right.
non-essential citizens.
Right. Do they fly over cities? Are they allowed to fly over those cells?
Oh yeah.
So they would just roast the town?
Yep.
Just kill everyone who comes outside?
Especially if it's a town that you are visiting.
Yeah.
So
anyone done a mod where like the houses will catch on fire and
I mean they do a little bit
spread through the city and
nothing that'll burn a town down.
Yeah.
I don't think
That'd
the
be
game
kind of
has
fun.
that mechanic in
probably
it.
not. Probably not.
And then of course, keeping up with my No Man's Sky, and only killed robots there,
and
fighting sentinels, but
Well, that's good. That's good. But plenty of them, I'm sure.
yeah, the alien population is perfectly safe in No Man's Sky.
Well, they're not committing crime, right? So they can
They can
live. They can live.
Upstanding, community members.
And less edible, probably.
Yeah, man.
Can you eat robots?
Yeah. So, and then playing Fallout 1.
Awesome.
Over and over and over again.
Oh, you're just doing the...
I've been to level 3 like 10 times now.
So you really know, if you made it to level 3, you really know the opening of the game, the first town, and up to Vault 15, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Scorpion Cave.
Nice.
Whole 9 yards. Where all the good, accessible loot is, where you don't, where you have to steal it to get it, in Shady Sands.
Oh, very cool. Okay. I could use these tips. I mean, I've searched some shelves and found a few things, but didn't really know you could steal some loot.
So
Is that the town I skipped? Shady Sands? Is that what
Yeah.
that's
Are
called?
you still not gone back there yet, Andrew?
Yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't played.
Okay.
I haven't played again.
although, I mean, that's, you had to have worked really hard at missing that.
I mean, we'll get into it when I get into my gameplay, but yeah, no idea there was a town there.
Yeah. So I think I finally settled on a character.
Well, it sounds like you tried 10 times so far.
Yeah. So, well, I've tried a lot of different things. And so one of the things we talked about last time was about the charisma stat and how that's the dump stat.
Yeah, is that still true?
But I got some more information on that. And there are various levels of conversations that you can have with NPCs depending on the level of your charisma. And so, just to kind of, mix it up a little bit, I bumped my charisma up to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's, there's a threshold there at level 4 that brings up the next level of conversation trees. And so I definitely noticed that there are more, things to talk about. I don't really know it well enough to know if they're, that important or what, but, if nothing else, you get a little more flavor text out of everybody.
I wonder if there's
with the higher charisma.
Yeah, I wonder if you put it up at 8 or 10. If you are allowed to skip like certain annoying parts of quests and stuff like that.
Yeah, I didn't get the impression that it actually helped with any kind of speech check.
Okay, all right.
But what it does is it opens up dialogue that wouldn't otherwise be there. So I'm running with charisma 4, which means that I had to take a hit. And so I took a hit in intelligence.
Uh-huh.
So the first time I tried it, I had an intelligence. I left intelligence at 5. But then discovered that at intelligence 5, you cannot get Ian as a follower for free. You have to pay him to go with you.
Well, hopefully you've got some mole rat.
So I bumped it up to 6,
and at 6 he goes for free.
Yeah, 6 you can get him for free.
So you're actually convincing him via intelligence and not speech?
Yep.
Neat. I did not know that.
So I think speech skill helps with being successful. But if your intelligence is below 6, then you don't even get the option to try.
Oh, because you wouldn't think to ask, maybe. So we're synergistically using multiple special categories. That's neat.
Yep.
In chat, Lee asks, "What's an Ian?" Lee. Do you have a good answer for that, Ray?
Yeah. So Ian is the first follower that you can pick up. And he is a Crimson Caravan Guard that is convalescing in Shady Sands.
Remind me of the Crimson Caravan. New Vegas has a reference to them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're
they're
bigger at
tied
that
in
point.
with the NCR.
Okay.
So, Cassidy sells her caravan to the Crimson Caravan if you convince her to do that and go with you.
Yep. At this point, they're getting started, but they become a bigger thing. And, by Fallout 2 and, of course, New Vegas, they're a huge kind of trading emporium and a big part of the NCR. And so, you can do stuff for them. And Cassidy Caravans is their own thing, but there's that whole quest line, where you're trying to get her caravan.
Yep. So, so I've been playing around quite a bit with that. It's been interesting, trying to figure out how this different stuff goes together.
Yeah, I'm still definitely. I mean, I really haven't put that in much time, but you doing it 10 times or whatever,
it's a few.
That's figuring it out. Absolutely. Were you? It didn't seem like, just from what you're saying right now, that you were like doing drastically different special builds or whatever. Were you trying like, oh, let's see what happens if I have endurance at 10 or luck at 10? Were you?
Yeah,
bouncing those around.
That's kind of what I was doing.
You were doing that, okay.
To see what guns, how the different stats, really work with guns, and
any main
unarmed and
huge,
melee.
Any big huge takeaways? Any big thematic?
No, I mean, I think in all
patterns,
the stuff we talked about last week was, is pretty spot on as far as building a strong character.
So I was going to say, so charisma, you said like it just opens up more dialogue. So, but then I was going to make some sort of side, like horrible side joke. Well, so it is the dump stat then, but like it kind of,
yeah. So technically it is. If you've never played the game before, it is a valuable stat. It's going to make it harder to breeze through the game, with a really strong character. But by having the extra charisma, there is parts of the game that you'll uncover that you wouldn't have otherwise. So it's not a waste of a stat. It just makes things a little more challenging in other areas. So like for me, my perception is 4, because I was my plan was to go melee, so I didn't really need, perception for aiming.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, intelligence, I could afford to, to not be as high, because before, everything I was doing was intelligence 9 or 10, to try to max out leveling XP, and everything.
Right.
Yep. So you found a compromise position, which is interesting. I'm glad you're trying different things and it's mixing it up, because we were kind of talking about how there were, 2 or 3 highly recommended builds, a couple of which were easier than others, but to go, less intelligence and focus, I mean, that's going to be a real deviation from the rest of us.
Right.
Not that 6 is that much lower.
Yeah. But I still have, so, the first place it was most noticeable was in, when I did level up my skill points.
Oh.
So because, so skill points are calculated on 2 times your intelligence, plus 5. And so, that's what you get every time. If you take the gifted trait, which everybody does, that's minus 5. So you only get 2 times your intelligence. So where, typically I was getting 18 skill points every level, now I only get 12.
Yeah, that's a huge difference. That will add up.
Yeah. And so if you're putting skill points into tag skills, that is, that's 12% every level that you're missing out on. So it'll definitely add up over time.
Yeah. So within 8 or 9 levels, you will have lost an entire 100% of what you might have gotten on a level.
Yep. So we'll see what happens, but I'm agility 10, and luck 10. Um, definitely
That's
need
cool.
to luck at 10 in order to help cut down on the encounters in the world. And so I've already
Encounters are
seen
bad?
that showing up. I've had more good encounters than bad. And and then with agility 10, I get 10 action points every turn.
Now, I've heard that there are cybernetic implants in the first Fallout, like there is in New Vegas. Do you guys know if that's true, or is that just in
No,
Fallout 2?
I saw something about body mods or something.
Yeah, body mods.
Yeah. So there's two. There's two that you can get. One of them is. Let's see if I can find my notes on that.
Seems like New Vegas kind of went out of their way to pull a lot of the kind of cool things from Fallout 1, like the body enhancement things, and
Yeah, they wanted to continue the line of what they had done in the first two games more. I mean, that does make sense.
Yeah. So there's a conversation that you can have with Patrick the Celt about his music that will get you a +1 to your charisma. And then the luck was something else. It was really weird and completely random. And then strength, perception, endurance, intelligence, and agility can all be raised once you meet the Brotherhood of Steel and get in good with them, so that you can go to their doctor and get the implants.
And then you blow them up.
Yeah, after that. So, but it's they're not cheap.
Well, yeah, in New Vegas you're buying a new arm, but they literally cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're gonna get rid of the old anyway. I might as well.
right. Yeah.
But no, because you get the dermal. You get the implants are different. I mean, what are they?
Hilarious.
2K or 4K, right? And then but like the heavy ones, the two faster ones are 8 or 10K, and then 10 or 12K.
Yeah,
that's a lot of caps.
Yeah.
So caps are still a thing. I was gonna ask. You were talking about bartering, like just weird stuff last week. So, and I still haven't found a cap yet. I mean, so I was like, was that always I was just thinking about the classic things that are in. How much Fallout 1 was Fallout already? I don't know if that makes sense, but like I'm just sort of impressed with how much of the things that are classic in the game and iconic are established already in Fallout 1.
Right, started out in 1.
Yeah. The things
didn't gone the whole time.
Things didn't seem to trickle into the game. It seems like bam, this world is here and it's
a lot of it
out.
was during that development cycle. Hearing them talk about it, like all the interviews that happened, because there were a lot of interviews with Leonard Boyarsky and Tim Kaine in October for Fallout 25, and hearing them talk about it. This game was made over several years. They were kind of the B team. Their interplay as far as like being allowed to work on this kind of more on the side at first, and then it grew. So over 3-4 years, actually developing it, like figuring all this, hammering all this out, like the 50s retro aesthetic, that wasn't in the initial design docs. But once they started doing it and everybody latched onto it, they're like, oh, this is cool. Let's use this framework, and just hearing that some of these things weren't the original plan, really exciting.
You run into robots yet, Ray? You seen like Mr. Handies and Protectrons and anything like that yet?
No, fortunately not.
Fortunately, let's do.
Yeah, so the rats, pig rats, and mole rats have been quite the handful.
I saw a mole rat, and I was like, who let a hippo in here?
They are huge.
They're giant guinea pigs. Yeah.
They're gigantic.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
what else are you getting into, Ray? Any other gameplay you want to mention?
That's it for now. I will have a new space game to talk about next week.
Ooh, nice.
New space game.
Can we get a preview on what that game is going to be?
Well, I mean, Starfield came out today, so we're all playing that, right?
Don't even. No.
You didn't.
So,
you didn't go pick up your copy
as much
today.
as Jess doesn't want to hear about it, that is the impetus for getting this game. Because Bad Company Sarge, who's a YouTuber that I follow, put out a video of 10 games to play while you're waiting for Starfield to finally come out.
Sorry, I'm sad.
She's
Experiencing technical difficulties.
10 games to play while you're waiting. Patiently, I might add.
Yes. So the last one that he talked about, I hadn't heard before. And so I'm checking it out. It's called Rebel Galaxy.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. Actually, that looks
Star
really
Wars
cool.
Sounds like a Star Wars game, Ray.
Yeah, no.
Not really. It's got some Mass Effect vibes and some like exploration vibes, a little bit Elite Dangerous in there. I almost bought that a number of times. In fact, I might have even, but I still haven't played it.
Yes, I downloaded it tonight, but I haven't really played it yet.
Cool. Yeah, I always thought that looked intriguing. So, gosh, I look forward to hearing about that.
Do you say the name again? Rebel Galaxy? What'd you say?
Yeah, Rebel Galaxy.
Rebel Galaxy. PC only, I assume.
Oh, I have no idea. It's
Ray never has the answer to that question, Jess. I ask him every time, and he never fucking knows. When will I learn to stop asking Ray if these games are on Xbox?
It's not like I rush up here and try to load it on my Xbox that has 2 games on it.
Yeah, no, but it is on Xbox and PlayStation, which, I mean, like I said, I almost bought it, or may have bought it, and that would have been on Xbox.
Well, you're all PC and stuff now, so I don't know anymore.
A little bit.
It's not something
bit.
It's not something I can just assume with Jess anymore.
Yeah, and as Solio points out, the mole rats are huge, but the rad scorpions are even bigger.
I haven't seen one of those yet. Thank God.
Come across to them yet?
No.
Yeah,
they're one of those horrible encounters you were talking about.
They can be. Yeah. At one point, I got the little lightning bolt on the map, and so it pops you into the regular live screen, and I was completely surrounded by 6 rad scorpions, who evidently had a higher initiative than me because they all got to go first. And so I never at any point got a turn because
they
all these rad scorpions, stung me 2 or 3 times and I died.
What? I forget again. Which is initiative, agility, endurance?
I don't remember exactly which one. I think agility might influence that.
Forget.
Although I think intelligence does too, because this character that I'm playing right now only has an 8, and I was 12 and 14 on the stronger builds. It shows up as sequence on your list of attributes, along with your armor class, action points, carry weight, and all that stuff on that screen, kind of in the middle of your character screen. And it determines, when you get to go. And, if you have a really high sequence number, you can actually go twice before the enemy ever gets a turn.
Oh, well, that's super effective.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen on this character.
Now, if you could get a swing in, could you attack multiple, or it wouldn't matter because you could only attack one and then the other 5 would kill you anyway?
Yeah. You're gonna want to run.
Oh, you can't evade. You can get out of there. All right.
Yeah. And so, fortunately with 10 action points, I can get farther than most other creatures have, move space.
Is that a point and click towards the edge of the battle zone, or sort of a like option in the sub menu bail from battle? Like, is there
No, you have to actually do it, with your turn. You know how your little hex has a number in the middle of it?
Yeah,
when
that
you're in
is
combat.
is
That's
that your
action points.
Okay, and literally one action equals 1 point. I don't know, probably depending on
one
stats
hex.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But that would be like, if I had a 2 there, would I be? It's like, what does that actually mean? Is moving away just one move, or is moving away 2 squares? Does that count? Is each space count as an action point?
Yeah, each space costs 1 action
Are
point.
you fucking kidding me? Good lord.
Yeah.
And how do you get your action points as high as possible? I assume that's an agility. Connected.
Agility.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
agility drives that.
like drinking like Nuka-Colas or something like that, maybe too, or something. Like, is there anything like that in the game? I haven't seen a cola or anything yet. Are there like I found Mentats? Are there other classic Jet and Psycho and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I've got buff out.
Nice. Oh, strength. Yeah, good. Yeah, again, it's already all established. I don't know why I keep being baffled by that, but yeah, everything was already there. They were good at establishing this world. All right. See, what did I get into this week? I did not play any video games over the weekend, basically. Like I mentioned, I'm trying to finish up a couple of albums before the holiday season rolls in here. When I did log in, it was just to do the get the rifle range thing, Jess, which I did, and then I like built in my camp, and it's huge.
Yes, it is very large. It is much like the Wildwood Tavern that we got with the pit, that cool corner tavern. It is large like that. It is large like the Stack Shack or the Pittsburgh Palace. It is much larger than the original prefabs. I do feel like they are getting bigger over time, with these prefabs. Like initially we got like, the Whack Shack, the Stabbin' Cabin, the Tetanus Gazebo, all the little ones. And then little by little they get larger and larger, 2 floors, 3 floors, like
trailers stacked on top of each other, then towers, and
pretty soon
So
we're
the
gonna
question
get
is how many flamingos do they cost?
Well,
exactly 20,000 flamingos.
Interestingly, from what I've heard, because I haven't put down the rifle range yet, even though I got it, I have seen one out there, and people have said that it does not take that much budget. It is a low budget prefab.
Oh,
that'd be nice.
Sweet.
It's neat to know that some are like that. Like, for instance, the circus trailer takes more budget than the majority of the prefabs, which are much larger than them. So, first of all, tell me why. But second of all, cool.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you why they don't know.
Fair.
Because the guy was, filling in the blanks in the, in the spec sheet, and, ended up writing a bigger number than he needed to.
I did log in today too. I played some with Alex and Keith, and even saw Eddie. So it was fun.
You guys were running expeditions and stuff.
Expedition tonight because Keith was like, "I need to get my XP," and I'm like telling him, "Oh yeah, go here and do this stuff." But then I totally forgot that. Oh, you can get 20,000 XP if you just go do an expedition. It's insane how much XP you can get from those things if you do all.
And it's 2 XP this weekend. So.
Oh Lord.
Yep.
So we ran a little expedition tonight. But the reason I initially logged in was to get the coffee machine. I saw Lou chatting about that. I was like, "What is this coffee machine thing here?" But I looked at that, and it's a it just produces a can. I thought that you were gonna get a nice little cup of coffee, get to sit there, mix a little cream and sugar in, have a little cappuccino going, a little frothy milk maybe, a little nice little, but no, it's just they hand you a can of ground coffee, which, you know, you can stack those and get the AP boost, which is really
Yeah.
awesome. So that's
Yeah,
fun.
coffee and quantums,
But
those are good.
do you know how excited I was to have like a used car lot with a popcorn machine and a used like a coffee machine and a little popcorn thing? They're just like, oh man, that would have been so classic.
Perfect camp theme. You know what? Let's build that. I mean,
used
where would be a
car
good
lot.
location?
Do we
I-
have a
either
hot
by
dog
the-
spinner thing yet? Come on, we need a hot
The
dog
Miners
spinner.
Monument south of White Spring would be one spot, you know, because you got like 5 cars
yeah.
there.
Oh,
The robots are in the way.
Right.
That one's good. Maybe the place by, what
a
is
little
the
cemetery.
museum up near the cemetery? Exactly. There's that car lot behind there.
Right.
But there's always that Yao Guai there, and he's not really a good customer.
No, he wouldn't like it.
Trying to think. I feel like there are a couple other decent lots like that. But yeah, that's a fun idea.
So
Just don't let Lee on the lot.
No, Lee, no. You explode it, you bought it.
and you know what? Just while we're on the subject, Lee,
Scorecation!
congratulations, sir.
Yes.
All right. So my gameplay, what are we getting into here? I enjoy the coffee machine. Thanks, Lou. Set it next to my popcorn machine there. So we'll, they're right by my vendor. So hopefully people are taking the popcorn also gives you an agility boost or an AP regen boost as well. So you get the coffee with the agility boost, and then the popcorn with the AP regen boost. Like, you can get yourself going pretty quick in the morning there. It's good breakfast. Get you going. So what else? Got the rifle range up. Oh, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experiences in Fallout 1. Really did not play much at all, like an hour, maybe 2. But I was just sort of like clicking around the map and going in, like it would zoom in and you'd be in like the sort of like, you'd see like cave cutouts, right? It's like I couldn't tell if we were supposed to think that I was inside of a cave and they like lopped it off just so I could see what was happening, or if these are like, if I'm in a canyon, you know what I mean? Because there's like canyon walls, or what do you guys think? Am I in an enclosed cave in a lot of these situations, especially when you walk out of the vault initially?
Yeah.
Or-
So
or
when
is
you
that-
walk
is
out of
that
the
a
vault, you're in a
canyon?
cave.
That's a cave. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. So if it's dark, it's a cave. If it's light,
It's a canyon because there's
You're
always
outside,
walls.
yeah.
You can't ever just like walk. This is not a sandbox. You can't just
Yeah.
go anywhere. They have, walls up and everything everywhere.
yeah. So one thing I learned right away is there's really no reason to stop anywhere that the game doesn't stop you at. So if you move to the middle of one of the map squares, and then you get the little diamond or the little triangle, and
Yep.
you click on it, and you go into the live action,
Yeah.
there's going to be nothing there. There's nothing to loot. There's nothing to find. There's just nothing there.
So what's the point?
So the game generates random encounters
And there's
within
supposed to
those
be
spaces.
a bad guy pop up or something?
Could be a bad guy, could be a good guy, could be just about anything. And so as you're traversing, these map squares, you'll get a little red lightning bolt show up. And that's when you know that you've come across a random encounter of some kind,
Uh-huh.
and that you're going to be, whisked into the
Oh, so that's not
live
necessarily
action map.
that's not necessarily bad. A red lightning
It-
bolt, I always think of, oh man, this is going to be hairy.
No, it's not always bad.
Okay.
Like one time it stopped me, and there was a fight between raiders and caravan guards.
Uh-huh.
And so I just kind of stood back, let them do their thing. And then as people started to fall, I ran over and looted them. I got metal armor. I got leather armor. I had rifles. I had all kinds of stuff.
Cleanup crew and vulturing. Love it. Okay.
Can you just pop that armor on, or do you have to like do any sort of like training or anything like that?
No, you just throw it on.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so it's not always bad. Of course, sometimes you are, in the middle of a bunch of mole rats, or, praying mantis, or, heaven help you, rad scorpions.
They sound very dangerous. I'm worried about poison.
Yeah, poison didn't really cause me any trouble.
Good. Okay, that's good to know, because that getting woozy from, say, stingwings or rad scorpions in
Oh my God.
in modern games
Fucking stingwings.
is one of the worst.
No.
Yeah.
And until we really know the 2D or the isometric games as well, like I'm still struggling with the controls a little bit. So, if you have to act fast is not something I'm good at right now. I mean, I know it's turn-based in a way, but I'm going to click the wrong thing.
Well, and that's the thing. You really feel that anxious, like you've got to react right this second.
Yeah, exactly.
But you really don't. If it's your turn, it's your turn as long as it's your turn.
Cazadors, says Solior. Yeah, no. There are
No
no
fucking way.
Cazadors in Fallout 1, right? They are purely a New Vegas creation, I think.
Yao
I've
guy?
not seen him.
You seen a bear yet? Yao guy?
No.
Death claws?
I mean, we're still in the very early. I mean, they're not quite that cruel. That
He's played 10 hours, but it's like the same hour 10 times.
Yeah.
It's
But I just mean, do you have knowledge of I assume since
so
everything
there
is
are death claws.
everything is so well established that of course death claws are there. There's feral ghouls that we'll run into eventually. The soupy mutants, of course, all
mutants,
that.
yep.
Yeah, right. Like the ultimate bad guy is a super mutant in Fallout 1, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
So
right on.
So once you've so it really doesn't hurt, like when you come out of the vault, if you want to go click on vault 15, which is like 10 squares away.
Yep. 10 to the right.
You can click on that, and the game will stop you if something happens. Like if you get to Shady Sands, it'll stop and give you the opportunity to check it out.
But it sounds like it didn't for you, Andrew. You said you basically fast traveled. You clicked on it and
I have no idea what I'm doing.
The map square by square?
No, it does. There's no other way to do it.
Okay.
I don't know what is like happening. I'm just exploring the. It's not even called a. Is it called a Pip-Boy? Whatever this computer is. This a computer we're wearing on our wrist? Is this the Pip-Boy 3000 whatever? Like, and we. What is
it's not
this
a 3000. No.
Okay, model number incorrect. But like is this a Pip-Boy on our wrist? Like, doesn't it say like Infomatic or something?
It's the same Pip-Boy from 76, right?
Okay.
With the tubes and all that good stuff.
I think it's a different mark. I'm thinking, is 76 a 2000 Mark 6 at that point? Or Mark 4? I'm suddenly forgetting.
How dare you?
But yeah, it's early on and it is much more similar. Yep.
All right, that's our next quiz. Next week.
I used to know them better, but it's been a little bit. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm really just getting used to the sort of the format, the layout, what stuff does, that sort of thing. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing when I'm looking at this map. Like, so like exactly what you said, Jess. I was just fumbling around. I wonder what this is. I'm going to click on that. Oh, shit. Now my guy, what's this red line? My guy is traveling, and I got all the way to Vault 15. And my guy, I just woke up and fast traveled there. And, so I got all the way there, didn't have a random encounter of any kind, didn't stop at the town that's in between there. I want to say Powder Springs. That's not it. What's the...
Shady Sands.
Shady Sands. I didn't stop at Shady Sands.
Powder Gangers, yeah.
Powder Gangers. I didn't hit anyone. Nothing happened. I got all the way to the vault, and I walked into the vault. And I'm like, oh, hey, look, there's a hippo in here. Oh, shit. And then I walked around, and I looked, and it's like, this is a computer terminal. This terminal is fucked beyond compare. This is a chair. You don't feel like sitting right now. This is a broken cabinet. Nothing's in here. And then
If you had Fallout first, you could own this. Yep.
then you walk over to that's funny, good one. And then you walk over to the what I had no idea what the hell that weird dark room in the bottom left corner was, and then you walk over to it and it's like, this is an elevator shaft. I'm like, have you ever seen a goddamn elevator shaft in your life? Game? This is not an elevator shaft.
It's dark.
and it's like, you need a rope to get down this hole. And I'm like, sweet. All right, let's go look around all these cabinets. No, nothing. All right. Let's go look in all these other containers. No, fuck. All right, how about this room? And I was like assuming, of course, that there was going to be a rope in that building in Vault 15 on that first level, so we could just hop down nice and neatly down the hole. And of course, there's no goddamn rope in the first level of Vault 15, right?
No,
of
it's
course.
on the second
No.
floor
Well, how do you get to the second floor? You need rope?
with a rope.
Yeah, exactly. God damn it. Those assholes. So that's what Powder Spring. Shady Sands is for, right? You need to stop there first and get yourself a rope so you can get down to the...
Well, to be fair, when you're actually playing the game for the first time, you're not going to know that. Obviously, that's
Yeah.
kind of been passed along. We talked about it a lot last episode. It was mentioned, but
Yes.
players who were playing this back in the day, they didn't know either. So they got there, they knew the rope, they went back to Shady Sands. But most people do discover Shady Sands.
Yes,
en
I was
route.
about to say that. Most people knew that there was a town to go back to. When I was
Yes.
like, well, fuck.
I do not know how.
Now
you didn't
what?
know this.
I don't know, because I mean, you'll see when you see it. So it's a square like all the others, except that it has a big green circle in the middle of it and a bunch of little buildings.
So how did I accidentally click around it somehow? Can you
If you didn't go
determine
straight, then maybe.
your pathway between on the way
Yeah.
to Vault 15? Could I dictate that my player character went south or something like that
Yeah,
instead of?
if you did, yes, you could go a little bit south and then east and
know.
probably go around most things. Yeah, I mean, you'd probably run into a raider camp then or Junktown
But
or
I
something
said
else
it
if you went
felt
too
like
far. But
I said it felt like I fast traveled, right? Like it felt like I just clicked on it and accidentally I was there.
That's
Yeah,
what you
well,
said.
if you didn't have any random encounters along the way, the little line just zips across the screen,
Right,
and then bam, you're there.
It just looked like a little red line. Right.
But
Yep.
you do still move faster than not, right? I mean, like, don't you still go square by square? Then again, I didn't turn up the speed to maximum. So if you turned up all the speeds, if you also turned up map speed, is there a setting for that? I guess I don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I just turned everything up to the max.
Okay. And you still walk across at a normal clip, right? Like,
Yeah. Mhm.
1 square, 2 square, 3, like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
always run. Fast combat.
At least now you know, Andrew, and you will get back there. You've learned a lot about the interface. You've learned a lot about.
I still have a lot to learn.
chairs,
How about
desks.
strategy? How about strategy of battle? Like if I have a 2 by me and there's a rad rat not too far away, do I want to aim myself so that I'm not right in the next square next to it so it can't attack me? Because I know it has an attack radius of 1, basically, from what I've gathered from experience. Do I want to leave?
But they can move.
They can move shit. But do they
Yeah,
have?
so
Do
they
they have
can-
more than one action point? Can they move and bite? Like, can they pull 2 actions
If you're
at
too
once?
close.
I feel like if you make the move at least 2 or 3 squares, they usually won't. But it depends on the enemy. Some will have more.
But if I only have 2 action points, I also need to leave myself an action point for an attack. If I want to move 1 square in and then attack as well in one move, I need to have 2 action points available.
Well,
correct?
no, you need 4, depending on the weapon you're using, because each weapon has the amount of action points, So maybe the knife will take 3 and the gun will take 4, or whatever it is.
I
And
don't think I've
are you
ever had
using
more
the
than
knuckles?
2. Yeah, I got the knuckles.
Yeah, so that's 3.
I got 3. Okay, so I don't know. I'm again. I just need to get used to the interface. I don't think I'm
Yep.
reading stuff
Yeah.
And
correctly.
action points are
And I was-
represented by dots above the weapon.
Yeah, and I was like, "Where do you see this?" And you're like, "It's in the meter." And I'm like, "What goddamn meter?"
That's why we need to play at one point when, when one of us is streaming and you can tune in and we
Yeah,
can
I need
kind
to
of go over
watch.
the
I need to watch
interface.
your video. That you
Yeah.
did. Right.
Yeah, and so you definitely want to, leave yourself some AP to be able to run away. So my successful strategy is to, when you're out of combat, just get kind of close to them so that they initiate combat. They'll use all their action points to get right next to you, and then they won't have anything left to bite you. Then it's your turn, and then you take your whacks, but you leave yourself 3 action points to be able to get out of their range.
And because that would be able to move you 3 spaces, and they wouldn't be able to move and attack you more than a radius of 2. Okay.
Yeah, but if you use up all your action points hitting them, then they're going to be able to bite you twice.
Mm-hmm. Is there any way to block their attack? Because sometimes they miss. I've noticed that.
Yeah, that's just luck.
Is there a block involved at all?
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay.
No. And with rad scorpions, make sure you have 5 action points to run.
Oh, they got extra range. Cool.
So,
all right. Well, yeah, I didn't play a ton, but that's what I did. I was like, well, fuck, now I need a rope, and now I'm at the point where I need to go back to get to Seth and find some rope, and then I can continue on.
So, are you saving?
I have. Is this?
Did you save when you left the vault? When you got done killing all those rats.
I was going to ask you about that because this is evidently a timed thing. So if I went back to my original vault to see if I could find rope there. I couldn't find any rope there, but then I walked back in, and like the whole vault is active, and like there's the overseer, and he's like, "Hey, how's it going? You got the water chip yet?" And I'm like, "No." And since we had the intro. I was building my character on the podcast last week. The intro, I sort of like muted everything. I didn't even hear. I was like, okay, who are you again? Oh wait, you must be the overseer, right? Oh, fuck, I need to watch the intro to this game again. I have no idea who these people are.
What's lucky is you totally can. That's an option in your Pip-Boy menu. Which,
really?
By the way,
neat.
I did double check. I was right, so I was glad I remembered. It is Pip-Boy 2000 in 1, but it is a Pip-Boy 2000 Mark 6 in 76. So it is still a 2000, but it's a Mark 6.
Just to
and then it's
upgrade.
So it's a newer model than we get 100 years later.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. But these are the ones you had in Vault 13, whereas Vault 76. So they were outfitted. They were outfitted later, which is why the kind of excuse for watching DC when you're up in Vault like 101, you get a 3000, and 111 we get 3000 Mark 4s in Fallout 4. So yeah.
Okay.
And my last thought of my gameplay.
Yeah, so you will through the course of this go back to Vault 13 to talk to the overseer.
But I shouldn't be going back and forth as much as I am because I'm wasting time, right?
Probably don't.
You're burning days.
So I need
probably
to
load a save.
Revert to a save and then go back and then try to stop at the town. You're saying?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's probably a good choice, unless, or even if you have a save after you finish Vault 15 before you went back to the vault, because that way you get the XP for killing some
finish the
moose.
vault.
But no, I know he didn't. But didn't he attack some mole rats? So
Yeah,
maybe you want to keep that XP.
Whatever.
Yeah, you're better off. You're better off starting over.
Okay.
And that's a solid strategy in this game. Because there is
Saves
not
coming.
a quest log, that's going to tell you exactly what to do next.
Right.
Make a save, try something. If it doesn't yield good, positive results, go back and try something else.
So you don't waste the time, right?
You don't waste the time.
Yeah, because we don't know. And when you do open your Pip-Boy, which what I was going to say is that the quest log is basically under something called status, and it files like objectives by town. But there's also another thing you can click on, which I'm forgetting the name of it now, but it actually shows you cutscenes and videos. So you can, right from your Pip-Boy, rewatch your intro scene. You don't have to go back and load something.
Objective by town, but there's still no like quest markers or anything really, right?
Right.
No markers.
But at least they give you information or hints or some sort of like half guide a little bit.
Yeah, talk to people. Because they'll talk
When
to
he
you
meets
about
people.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you actually meet people.
If I ever see a person. The last thought was I was playing last night and I was looking at Nuka-Cola. I was just thinking, wait a second. This was called Nuka-Cola before the bombs fell.
Mm-hmm.
Why was this called Nuka-Cola? Were the people just obsessed with nuclear technology so much that they just named it after
Yeah.
or was it produced in a factory
General Atomics
that was powered by nuclear generators, so therefore it is nuclear cola?
Well, certainly it would have been, but most other brands are using, that as well. I mean, not fusion, because fusion only happened in the last 10 years
so
before the Great War.
it's not
But they're using
remarkable by any
nuclear.
mean, but so it's just they're just using the
It's an atomic-
the popular
It's an atomic society.
the-
That's kind of the whole basis
zeitgeist,
of it.
right? The atomic zeitgeist and using that as a popular. Okay, right.
Yeah,
Fair.
yeah. If I remember right, like John Caleb Bradburton, he founded it in like the
Bradburn,
2040s
right.
or
I was trying to
something,
remember his name.
and just used like popular imagery of the time. And this is before the wars were in full swing. I think the first resource wars might have been starting shortly after,
Yeah.
but
Very cool. All right, guys. Was there any more Fallout 1 roundtable stuff you wanted to get into?
No, I'm feeling good. I'm just,
Okay.
Ray is out there doing the hard work, testing things for us.
Exactly.
You and I are slacking a little bit. I really thought we were going to have the roundtable hammered out and maybe start the first quest.
I'll try
for
to
this week.
I'll try to get a good play session in this weekend.
I will try to hammer it down with a real schedule. Just we'll nudge each other
there you
because we're enjoying our scorecation.
But
too
it
much.
doesn't even sound like there's quests to do. Like it doesn't sound like
No, there's definitely quests. So when
Okay,
you get to
okay.
Shady Stands, talk to everybody there. And one of the people you end up talking to will give you a quest.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then
they're like objectives. Quests are objectives.
Yeah. And so traditionally, after you go to Vault 15 and you don't find the water chip, sorry for the spoiler.
Ray.
Oh, well, that was actually a big spoiler, but that's okay.
Jeez.
I
I might as well not even find the rope. I'm going to skip that part. Then.
1 hour game. Go in, no chip up. That's it.
Oh,
We're all dead.
Sorry, we died.
It's probably how a lot of people's first playthrough actually goes, though. They're like,
Well,
you're out of time.
if you make it all the way to Vault 15 without dying.
Gosh, I think, was it Lou who shared a picture earlier? He's like, yeah, so far my playthrough's going great. And he's showing the dead screen. Or no, was that Bill? Might have
was
been Bill in the
Bill,
Facebook
yeah.
group. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Lou's played plenty.
Thanks for playing, Bill. That's great.
So and there is another quest at Shady Sands that pops up after you've done the Rad Scorpions and then leave and come back. So and that has something to do with one of the characters that you meet there.
Ray's being so cryptic.
She's quite perky,
Uh-oh.
She is. I like
but
her.
bored.
Sounds intriguing. Let's get into some Fallout 1, you guys. Ray, I just want to remark, you were so Fallout 1 and 2.
It's true.
You have embraced this with open that's amazing. Good job. really great.
It's a character flaw.
I thought we were gonna drag you kicking and screaming, and you were just gonna like 3 episodes in and be like, "Fuck this! I'll catch you guys after the season," But you've rushed into it. You're blown both of us off the starting line. You're crazy deep into it. That's great. And so you were just saying
having limitless time helps.
that helps.
And he is a natural PC player too. We're exiting our usual habitat.
Yeah, exactly. And you were just saying, just trying things and restarting and saving and stuff all the time. But like, there is direction to it. But how much of it is just you wandering around, stumbling into stuff?
Yeah. And before you talk to Ian, make a save.
Oh, okay. It seems like that's
Um,
important. Just save every few minutes. It seems like.
Because with Ian, if you fail his speech check twice, you never get another chance.
That's not good.
So,
are there auto save or any like after you've walked through a door, it'll save anything like that? No.
no.
None of that?
No.
Okay. Well, that
Multiple
stinks.
save slots are suggested.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of funny going through the guide that comes with the game, because they, like every third step, it's like save, and then save.
Mm-hmm.
Have you saved? Did we mention you should save?
You should probably save now.
So, basically every step that they take you through, they suggest you save. So
You should save that again.
yeah, but that one's an important one because you can fail that check. And if you fail it twice, you don't get another chance.
Oh no.
And then you got to pay him.
Never pay him.
But it's definitely handy having a follower. This is a game. I will have followers.
Does he stand indoors and you got to push him out of the way and all sorts of stupid shit?
No.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah, there are some benefits.
Yeah. Now, other NPCs definitely will. I was trying to get in to see the doctor, and the damn dog was standing in the door. Couldn't get him out.
Good puppy. Who's a good boy? That's great. Hey,
So-
Jess, I had a important philosophical Fallout question for you.
Let's go.
Is the railroad a force of good?
Oh, you're referring to the Fallout debates episode that came out. So yeah, I had mentioned that I was joining in October with Weirdly, the Fallout Daily Discussion Group. He's trying to start something he's calling Fallout Debates. And it's essentially getting people together for a friendly discussion about some kind of topic in something of a debate format. But it's not a strict debate format. Like it starts out that way, but then it becomes, a friendly discussion. He doesn't want it to be, because as we all know, gamers can get passionate. He doesn't want it to be arguing,
Yeah.
more discussing and debating. So yeah,
Shot
first
club.
episode is out. Fallout Debates. There is a video version and a Spotify version. So I linked that on
Holy
Twitter,
cow.
and I dropped the video version on Facebook.
Great.
And essentially, I joined to talk about the railroad. I was pro railroad, as y'all can imagine, being a force for good in the Commonwealth. And Rob represented they are not a force for good in the Commonwealth side. And then Weirzy from Fallout Daily Discussion kind of moderated. So he's planning on doing these. He's hoping for once a month. I do think the second episode will be out next week because he recorded one with our friend Lawrence, was in, and I think Michael Tanner, who is a writer. He's written a number of. He's part of the Rad Rolls crew for the Fallout role playing group there, and he also is a writer. He's written a number of shorts, including the Mistress of the Mystery Into the Mystery kind of side story that I was talking about a lot last year.
Yeah.
He's a good writer. So they're talking about the Enclave, as you might expect, since Lawrence is there, and are the Enclave a force for good, or something? I don't really know the resolved on that one. But it'll be Enclave related. So look for that next week. But yeah, it was a great time.
Sweet. And of course, if I'm just playing Fallout 4, I'm usually unless I'm assigned not to, I will side with the railroad, and Minutemen will be like my main things I use. And it always baffled me when Michael first played Fallout 4 our first time whenever we're getting the game. Happy 7th birthday to Fallout 4. We just passed the date of that, I think, yesterday, probably. But that means our show's a little over 7 years old too, guys. So congratulations to everyone who's stuck around. But anyway, sorry, what was I saying? The railroad and Minutemen. I always sided with them unless assigned not to. But Michael, his first time through, was like, yeah, there's obviously only one choice. You got to go with the Institute. Like, Jesus, there's no other. It's obvious. And I'm like, how?
I was shocked. I mean, we've learned that over time with the roundtables, different points of view for different factions. But yeah, there are people who by default, I mean, my friend North, from Wasteland 76 Theater, he did his first Fallout 4 playthrough this summer and went Institute. Like, what?
Yeah.
Really?
It blows my mind.
He
They're
has
like,
this
yeah,
idyllic idea about sense. Yeah.
like, there's only one obvious choice. I was like, oh, wow.
And I've seen plenty who feel the BOS are by far the best choice, and they support those
In
factions.
4, really? In other games, I can see that. But in 4, oh, Lord. And since that was, of course, my first exposure, I always have this tainted view of them, which I'm trying to not let bleed into the other games, because I hear there really are a force of good overall in general in these Fallout games, but they just come off as so smug, and we're gonna take your technology because you don't know what's good for you, sort of assholes that you're just like, what the fuck, man, get out of my town.
We embrace you and your BOS hate. It's okay.
Get out of my fucking town. Get off my beach.
Yeah.
All right. Ray, you mentioned that this weekend you wanted to take up a movie with your kid. And I was just like, what are you talking about? Last weekend. Well, movie
my little kid.
Your child, your baby boy. Who's, probably got his own kids.
No. But could have.
But Jess mentioned to me, sort of on the side, when we were talking, we was like, oh, I was watching the Weird Al movie, and just like, oh my god, I can't believe you didn't bring that up on the show. And it's like, but on Roku channel, everyone, if you haven't seen it yet, Weird, the Weird Al Yankovic, no, it's called Weird, the Al Yankovic Story, I believe that's what it's called. Absolutely one of my favorite movies ever made. So it's
That's
incredible.
awesome.
I was so fucking skeptical when I heard that Harry Potter was playing Al Yankovic.
Daniel Radcliffe.
But that in turn is part of the spoof of the whole thing is just parody folding in on itself 100 times, worse than a Doctor Strange movie, things folding in on itself style of parody. It is so meta parody, your head will fucking spin. And there's only one complaint that I have about the whole movie at all is that I think Daniel Radcliffe did a really nice job. But there's this one sort of vocalism that Al always did in any of when he was on when he was a VJ on MTV, or when his UHF movies, or you see him anything that he did in live performances, he always had this he would just really normal talking, then he'd get going really fast, and then his voice would go really high, he would just do a really kind of a freak out little high squeak pitch, and that was never done at all in the whole movie. And that was my only complaint, is that Al has a very specific vocal pattern to his speech, and that just wasn't sort of played upon. So I didn't feel but at the same time, then kudos to Daniel Radcliffe for not doing an impression, because so many times you see in these biopics, people, instead of acting, are doing an impression of the person instead of
and it
acting,
can make it a little bit.
I mean? Yeah, that gets distracting. So, then. Kudos to Daniel Radcliffe then for not doing an impression then. You know what I mean?
Being real Weird Al and not necessarily Weird Al on screen sometimes. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to watching it. I've been traveling along his career from the very beginning.
That's amazing.
I can remember hearing him quite a lot on the Dr. Demento show.
Yeah.
And it was always funny, and we all would crack up at his parodies and everything. And then as he really started to get into doing popular songs, it was mind blowing. And
it took off.
It was definitely a lot of fun.
Tell me about Dr. Demento back then. Did you listen to it on a live radio? Was he out of Los Angeles?
Yeah, well, I don't know if he was out of Los Angeles. The radio station I listened to was out of LA.
So he could have been syndicated from elsewhere, of course.
Yeah, I don't remember. That wouldn't have been something I paid attention to at the time.
He was on when we were kids, Andrew. I mean,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
listen to him sometimes
I think he
at
still
night.
does a show,
Yep,
doesn't
try
he?
to record it.
He's still alive. I think he still does a show of some sort.
He's definitely out there. I don't know if he still is, but I've certainly seen him referenced or talked about in the last couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah, but he, he definitely introduced us to a lot of, zany music, at the time.
Absolutely.
And
Was that a big thing before Dr. Demento? Like that's the one I know, the quintessential sort of like parody music man. But were there Dr. Demento sort of scattered all over the country? Do you think about?
I'm not sure. That was really, that was kind of when I was a teenager, just kind of getting into, what I liked and what I didn't.
Yeah.
And, that was just the one I knew.
I don't know that it was.
There wasn't really any competition in the
Okay.
LA market. He was pretty much it.
I don't know that it was syndicated in Indianapolis. It very well could have been when I was a kid. But what I remember it from was my cousin on vacation. He just had mixtapes that he had made that he recorded like off of live radio broadcasts. Then we would just listen to like the Dead Puppies Aren't Much Fun song, the Watch Out the Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun song. Like just I remember all these awesome songs. They're just so hilarious. I'm like, what the hell are these? And then like he introduced me. He gave I have it on vinyl over there, the first copy of Dare to Be Stupid, and that just sort of like blew my goddamn mind, like hearing that Weird Al album. And then like I sort of went backwards. I heard like some more modern stuff and then like backtrack. But just, yeah, it was just I didn't get to see.
He said he introduced groups like Sparks, and I think that may have been when the first time I heard Oingo Boingo.
Oh, really?
Was on his show.
Are they considered a I don't know.
They
what would that be
were
called? Not parody, a novelty band?
They were just odd because they didn't start out as Oingo Boingo. It was the Order of the Knights of Oingo Boingo or something like that. They were almost like a big band.
Oh yeah.
Sound. And then eventually evolved into, the greatest band of all time.
Now he's doing live performances of Nightmare Before Christmas and the California Bowl or whatever, the Hollywood Bowl.
Well, every Halloween I would go to an Oingo Boingo show.
That's amazing.
Because they always played on Halloween night
That's
or
so cool.
Halloween weekend, really.
Ray, I'm jealous of your childhood. That sounds amazing.
So it was, it was definitely fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing the movie, to kind of see how they put it all together.
Well, he was just always sort of omnipresent in my life because of my cousins and my brother and stuff. There was no time like where he was like introduced, but because of those Dr. Demento tapes my cousin brought on vacation when I was young, I've just always kind of, had Weird Al around. And so often, like so countless times now, I've heard the Al version of a song and then years later heard, oh, that's the song he was, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I get
The
that
song
now.
is just 6 words long.
Yeah, exactly.
for sure.
Exactly. Years later, you hear, Weird Al spoofed a song from that I didn't know when I was a little kid. That's hilarious. Yeah, but his originals were also really awesome. Like Stuck in a Closet with Vanna White, One More Minute with You. It's like all sorts of good stuff. Anyway,
Yeah,
enough
I
Weird
have
Al.
to say, White and Nerdy is one of my favorite bangers of all time. I really do love that one.
It's amazing. So sorry for waxing too nostalgic on Weird Al, but I really enjoyed the movie. Couldn't suggest it enough to people. Ray, enjoy it watching it with your family this weekend.
Definitely will.
It's really fun. Okay, guys, I want to move on to a little bit of
Pigcorn?
Let's get the easiest round of Pigcorn. You guys should be insulted.
This
if you
better
don't
not
get
be
these.
false advertising, Andrew.
It's not. It really is. These are 10. Okay, so 5 each. 10 of the most iconic Fallout things ever. Just like if when you think of Fallout, these are the 10 things that you're gonna come up with, and you're these.
It's going to be about football.
This is the
Content.
easiest.
Let's go.
This I couldn't come up with anything more quintessential Fallout. Like these are things that are probably in Fallout 1, 2, New Vegas, all the way through. Okay, like this. Seriously.
This is such a setup.
I don't want to understate this at all. All right, here we go. Ray, we'll start with you here on this week's edition of
Pigcorn?
Let's start out with irradiated soda pop.
I'm going to go with Nuka-Cola.
Boom, Ray, nailed it. All right, Jess, you're up next. Jug top.
Jug top. Bottle cap?
Bottle cap. You nailed it, Jess.
Oh my God, these are easy.
Ray. Cat salad. Cat
salad.
Cat salad. Remember, these not only synonyms, but clues.
So I'm going to have to throw this one to Jess.
Jess, you want to steal? Cat salad?
Is this a general Fallout? Could be anything, but very common?
This is one of the quintessential all-time Fallout things when you think of Fallout.
Oh,
This is
okay,
one
then
of those
Atom
things.
Cats.
I'm gonna have to X you guys. Sorry. This is one of those situations where it's not a synonym, but it's just a clue. Cat salad. If you take the
Feline lettuce?
exactly, that's a new name. Besides pig corn, we are now called feline lettuce. Cat salad. If you take the opposite of each of those words, you'll get dog.
Oh,
And-
dog
Dog
meat.
meat.
Oh, muffin humpers. Yeah, no. I did not know it was going to be opposite time. That's not in the rules, but now we know.
It's just a clue sometimes, you guys. Not always a synonym.
Okay.
Jess, so it's your turn to start. Safe info. Safe info.
Okay, now I'm only thinking opposites, which is not what I should be doing. So we're going to go with, Vault-Tec.
Vault-Tec, absolutely nailed it, Jess.
Perfect.
Ray, back to you. Healing bundle. Healing bundle.
Stim pack.
Stim pack. Ray nails it. Jess? Nuke be gone.
Rat-away.
Rat away, absolutely.
God, I feel like A is for apple, B is for boy right now. I feel like we're being spanked. Like these easy questions.
Well, I mean, as long as it's not
Well,
seared venison
and
with
every single one seems like a trap. So
as long as it's not, seared venison meat with berry sauce or whatever. 'Cause you guys
Aioli. Yep.
with aioli, right? All right, Ray, we're back to you, Ray,
Ray.
right? Ultra freak. Ultra freak.
nothing.
Jess, would you like a steal?
Yes, stupid mutant.
Super mutant, yeah, absolutely.
Do you remember when I used to call him that? Yeah, like flashback. But yeah.
The super mutant, yes, Jess, good steal. Jess, you're here to start with a wild boogeyman. Wild boogeyman.
Some kind of monster. Wild.
Wild boogeyman.
Maybe a boogeyman could be like a nightmare or a dream or a monster. Wild. Thinking. It's like wild. Crazy. Outgoing. And it's got to be a basic Fallout concept.
Could be a savage boogeyman, a savage ghost,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay, I'm thinking a savage ghost boogeyman. Well, that's very different. Savage, wild, angry. I want to go for cryptids, but they're not necessarily Fallout basic.
No.
Yeah, I might have to pass. I mean, I should just guess something just to have it out there. So let's go with Raiders.
No. Ray, would you like a steal?
Feral ghouls.
Feral ghouls. Ray for the steal.
Smart.
The wild boogeyman. Absolutely. All right, just 2 left here, you guys. Ray, I believe you're up. Great Expectations Philip nickname Lad. Philip. Philip.
God, you have to really know
nickname-
Dickens for this one.
Or just Philip nickname Lad.
So that's it. Just Philip nickname Lad.
Well, Great Expectations.
Yeah,
Philip
the Great
nickname.
Expectations.
Great Expectations Philip. His nickname. And Lad.
Well, I don't know Phil's nickname.
Iconic Fallout items. Lad.
Yeah, Clint got it.
Okay, Pit Boy.
Pit Boy.
You know, see, I thought it was going to be Mrs. Havisham Boy for sure.
Mrs. Havisham
So.
Boy, right. Jess, back to you.
So yeah, Pip was the character in Great Expectations. It's quite a book.
Sorry if you guys weren't familiar with Great Expectations. Jess, back to you. The last one here. Close us out strong. Tell me where the Crimson Booster is. What's the Crimson Booster?
That would be the Red Rocket,
The Red
Andrew.
Rocket. Absolutely. You guys nailed this edition of Iconic Pigcorn. You only missed one. The cat salad. We're gonna have to revisit cat salad.
Well,
next
opposite
edition of
was that was a new
Pigcorn?
permutation.
Yeah, that was a
Big corn.
curveball. Yeah.
But
Big
also,
curveball.
I feel like maybe we should do something harder, like lose your head next time.
Lose your
The game
head.
show gauntlet,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
hard.
Let's do it. All right. So great. Thanks for playing this edition
Pigcorn?
of Pigcorn. I always like playing that this week. All right, guys. Let's get on here with some iguana bits. What do we have for news this week?
Sure. Well, let's jump into it. I mean, there are a number of news items we could talk about. First up, we'll hit the basics. Let's hit the community calendar. So right now, it is double XP weekend. So if you're listening to this and it's still Saturday, Sunday, or possibly even Monday, get a little bit of that sweet, sweet double XP. That is done on the 14th. So that is done on Monday at noon Eastern time as usual. Although with the time change and falling back, it's funny. They didn't get all the refreshes. Like some of the refreshes have shifted an hour now.
They do that every year, every time.
Every time. Then eventually they reset it. Sometimes it takes a week, sometimes it takes 2. But we're assuming Monday around noon or 1, it will refresh.
Oh, it's 1, not 11.
No, that's in the springtime.
Oh, right.
You never know. You never know, Andrew. So we got that. We've also got a Purveyor mixed mystery pick happening this weekend. So I want to mention that stuff for the calendar. Looking ahead.
Does anyone do that? People don't
No.
do that anymore, right? That's
Now that we got modules and stuff, they
Yeah.
really don't. But I mean, if you have too much script, who knows? Sometimes people do things like that.
I'm wondering if they'll guys, no one's doing this anymore. Let's up the likelihood of good stuff on these items.
But looking ahead,
Or they'll just delete it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's pull it out of the game.
next week we have a big new event coming up. So it's an event in the way that Scorched or Jingle Scorched or Mole Miners are an event. So it's not like a new event like Rad Rumble or one of the big seasonal events like Fashnacht or what have you are.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like like a sports kind of thing. So it's called Call to Action. And here's the description. Spin up your auto axe and complete unique challenges to unlock rewards. Starting November 15th, claim the red upper auto axe skin for free from the Atomic Shop. So this is one where gotta log into the shop and get a special skin to be entered. Just like when you had to get the wrench
Heart wrencher,
and get
right.
the roses.
Oh, I love the heart wrencher. That was so
Yep.
fun.
And I think they've done it with one other thing too. Was it something not for the probe? But yeah, I feel like there's been another get a weapon skin to do the event.
The
Now, once you get
gamma gun. No, I don't remember.
You have to complete unique daily and weekly challenges with that skin applied to earn rewards and unlock a new outfit called the Fanatic Stalker outfit. So it's going to start on November 15th. That's this Tuesday with the update and go till the end of month at November 28th after Thanksgiving.
Okay. Did you say that again? What was the sort of the threshold or whatever? What was the goal?
So basically, you're going to just complete certain challenges using the auto axe. So it's just a simple log in and do things for the challenges. You know, they know that we're on Scorecation and they want to keep you logging in, Andrew.
See, for some reason, for a second there, I thought, do you remember when it was like, as a community, you guys need to kill 20 billion fucking whatever these monsters are. And if you get there, you can, we're at step 1. What was that? Do you remember?
That was in the lead up to Wastelanders before it was delayed. So that was the September before the October Wastelanders was supposed to come out in 2019. And we were getting in there and we had to kill a certain number of, various things. There was like community kill enough ghouls, community do this, find enough Mothmen. Mm-hmm.
That's so weird.
Kind of like they did again with gathering stuff for the Brotherhood when we had to, meet Russell and we had to turn in wood or cork or concrete, which I still tease them about to this day.
It is amazing the iterations this game has gone through. How many different versions? That seems like a goddamn lifetime and a different game ago.
They try to come up with stuff for us to do. And doesn't it feel like forever? I mean, it's 4 years next week. On November 15th, that's basically going to be the 4-year anniversary, right? Because I'm pretty sure it was a Tuesday it came out. Either Monday or Tuesday is the 4-year anniversary of 76.
Wow, guys. Congratulations. Everyone is stuck through it. You
and
made
all the various permutations. But yeah, what I was saying was they try to come up with different things to engage us that aren't just go here, kill something. And sometimes if they're quest related, it takes a lot of programming. And so sometimes they try to, throw stuff in between. But I do think it's reasons to log in besides the scoreboard. And this is one of them. So yeah, call to action. Mm-hmm. We don't know how much you're going to need to do to unlock the outfit yet. Hopefully it's just a couple a week. Because once again, as I always say, if it's 5 days a week, it's just too much.
Yeah,
do not ask me to do that. The mystery item that they just had with 4 days a week, that was better. Down with it, but really a week should be 3 days. If I log into a game 3 times in a week, I really like it.
Yeah.
I think it should be 3 times in 2 weeks.
Ray's like 3 times a day, bitch. Bring it on.
Do I hear thinking about the game counts as logging in? Yeah, no, but honestly, I mean, if you get to that point, obviously play other things, but I don't know. I feel like 3 a week is plenty. And when I'm really into the game, sure, I'll be in 5 days a week, no problem. But I don't like being forced to. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's when it comes to the chore board.
Mm-hmm. So that is the 2XP and what's on the calendar.
Cool.
Let's go into Inside the Vault.
Uh-oh.
So besides call to action, there is a thread on upcoming weapon changes. So let's talk about it. Let's read what they wrote. Although we're playing in a post-apocalyptic world, we still want to keep that world fair, fun, and inviting to all.
Fair, right.
While you have been exploring and rebuilding, we've been working on a new system behind the scenes to remove illegal attachment combinations that violate the end-user license agreement to ensure that every single player is using and trading the same items that has the same advantages of you. Okay, so that sounds like they're talking about illegal mods on weapons. Some of the things like the like guns that actually shoot, orbital strikes and stuff like that, like the fake Fat Man attachments and stuff. But to clarify deeper, in today's PTS update, we're implementing a system that will remove illegal mods attached to weapons that cannot be obtained in game. Most players won't notice any change to their existing weapons. However, players in possession of a weapon with a mod that cannot be equipped naturally to the weapon may notice a damaging decrease, and the mod will no longer exist. This is intentional and does not need to be reported on the PTS Bug Reports channel. But we encourage you to report. Yeah, they're like, don't bitch at us. Don't come at us.
They're
we
saying,
know.
don't you fucking dare.
But we encourage you to report anything unusual you observe outside of this change.
Oh, that is funny. Wow.
And there has, of course, been further clarification. Like, people, what does that mean? Does that mean, different, like mods that you're not supposed to attach? Well, keep in mind, this has been an ongoing thing. In the lexicon of the developers, in the lexicon of Bethesda Game Studios, they consider all the legendary prefixes to also be mods. When they say mods, They're talking about anything that modifies the attributes of a gun, and that includes legendaries. And yes, this is essentially them saying that they are getting rid of legacy weapons. So, clarification, because in the PTS patch notes, they went into it deeper. Okay, this was on the inside the vault for everybody. Clarification from the devs, it says, this is to ensure every player is using and trading the same items and has the same advantages as everyone else. Most players won't notice an impact. Weapons with these mods will remain in your inventory, but the mod will be destroyed. So if you have a 3-star that is a legacy, that 3rd star that is illegal, I use the word illegal because they use the word illegal in some of their notes too. Essentially, it means the game doesn't currently allow it to drop, and you're not supposed to have it. But of course, if you got it when it was available, you have it. Now, I would estimate 80 to 90% of legacies out there that people are using are probably from dupe waves. How many dropped compared to how many being used now, and what a problem they've become the last 8 months, 9 months especially, even more than before. But long story short, yeah, they are changing things. They are getting rid of legacies currently active in the PTS. People have logged in and confirmed, yes, any legacy items they load in with do not have the legacy attribute.
What are your feelings on this, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, it's if you can't get it in the game anymore, if it's been taken out, because it wasn't intended to be there really in the first place, then it's no big deal. But the hard thing is that if you've got a character that you've been playing since the very beginning, you earned that.
Yep.
Now if it was a dupe, or if you got it through some other manner, then not going to feel too bad. But if you've been playing the same character for 4 years, and you've got ass kicking stuff that you worked your butt off, and spent your game time developing for your character, then that's not cool.
Can you guys help me understand what the word legacy means here in this specific case?
It's like explosive Gatling lasers.
That's one of the big ones. Yep.
So an explosive energy weapon,
which could have legitimately dropped in the game at one point, but they no longer allow it in the game.
Right.
But it used to drop.
Yeah, it used to be you could get it, from a queen fight, or some other legitimate means, in the game.
And that will
before Earl came along, before any of the new stuff, before Wastelanders, all that stuff. If you were fighting the queen, the first week the game was out, then you're going to have stuff that may not be in the game anymore.
Yep. And now there are a number of ways to deal with that, and it's funny because it has been a chief ask or complaint of, I would say, the majority over time to remove legacies from the game. It's funny, though, because as there have been dupe waves and more people have obtained legacies, less people are asking for them to be removed necessarily. I would say it's still in the case where, especially the last 8 months, people have wanted them gone more. Now, why do I say that? Because there have been multiple dupe waves. Initially, people earn something, they want to keep it. But the better way, in my mind, to handle it is when you say, this doesn't belong in the game, we need to stop them from dropping. They thought, well, we'll let the people that have them hold on to them. And I get that, but it would have been a better time to remove them, shortly after that decision was made so people could adjust.
Right.
But at the same time, they also wanted to be magnanimous and be, you did earn this, like you're saying, right? You did earn this. But the proliferation of duped items in the dupe waves being sold, being traded for, real world trading, like we've talked about before, all that, probably, I would guess 80, 90% of the legacies out there are not actually legacies, they are dupes. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's no way of knowing necessarily, but you have seen the number of them. If you look at how often you would see a legacy in the past and how much it impacted compared to now, it's so much worse. Now, part of this was because of an adjustment they made on the way legendary weapon and fragmented explosive damage is calculated in a patch update back in, whatever it was, April or so. They did that pass on energy weapons. They fixed some of the problems with energy weapons, which were making them so weak, and now they're better. They're still not as viable as many other weapons, but they're better for sure. I mean, Andrew, you can play with your alien blaster now and be somewhat effective.
Yeah, it's got to get the right cards on though.
Yeah. And I mean, there are others that they've made them more viable, but not perfect. But that had the side effect of energy weapons that had the explosive prefix on that, which they should not, among other things, just causing a whole lot more damage.
I guess I just don't understand why energy weapons aren't allowed to have an explosive effect. Why is that so illegal?
I'd have to get into the math or look up some threads on that. I can't necessarily explain, but I mean, I think it has to do with kind of like with, when shotguns have different fragments. Basically, like each part of it was calculating as an individual thing. I don't know exactly how it works. Once again, I have to look up a thread on it. But essentially, it's the way particle damage is calculated, and each particle getting the full effect of a certain amount of explosive, etc. But you also things like beam splitters on miniguns, stuff like that. Like you can't beam split a bullet, but there are things out there. Like there are various things. Some things that people really love are like explodey Teslas, and explodey Teslas aren't.
That sounds
able to
crazy.
be as abused quite as much. I mean, they feel like it because of the way that they go everywhere with the chain reaction and the way you can mod them. But really, while they cause more damage, it's not in the same way that a laser Gatling is. You know what I mean? So they'll certainly be more effective, but they're not going to destroy an event and have a queen who launches and then dies in 20 seconds.
Okay. See, that was going to be my next question. Devil's advocate.
Here we go.
Since I have the ability to turn off PvP so people with legendary weapons can't abuse those to kill me, why do I give a fuck how they enjoy the game? I don't care. Let them go off and play. Like
right.
how is that affecting my gameplay? But then you just mentioned because they kill a queen in 8 seconds. That's why. Yeah. Because it affects other people's game.
Going to do a pasta sheep squatch, and the second you become a conduit and she's vulnerable, suddenly she's already dead.
Boom, she's down. Right.
Yep. So, kind of ruining events for others, dominating things, jumping in and at a rad rumble, just spraying and praying everywhere so no one else can get any XP. Yeah. Same at Alien Rare. Now, sometimes they can really help. Like here are uses for them that are good. Solo play, playing with friends where that's what you're doing. PvP with friends where you're allowing it. Saving an event. You show up at a tough event. You're doing something like Aliens when there's only a few people on the server, or eviction notice. The event's going to fail.
The Arctos
they switch,
one,
pull out they pull out their legacy. They save the event. Everybody gets XP. Everybody wins. There are uses where it makes sense. And if it wasn't for the major buff and the number of dupes, I do think their plan was to leave them in. As recently as the IGN video we were talking about. Is it the IGN video? It was a recent video. No, I don't think it was the IGN one. It may have been, but a recent video in the last month during the Fallout 25 thing. One of the devs, Mark Tucker, was talking about, kind of the decision to leave them in. And, they're the kind of thing where the people had earned them. We understand that, they should have the right to use them a little bit. We don't think they'll affect game balance. But of course, with dupes and stuff, they really have. So I did a mega thread on Twitter to kind of see where people are at on this, and basically talking about how they were removed. And when we got the information, because my friend Skunk and Marigolds and a couple of people messaged me right away to say, hey, did you hear about legendary weapons? So I put it out there on Twitter just to see, make sure people heard about it and get the feedback.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would say the vast majority are certainly happy about it, which is why I am too. I really feel that it will benefit the balance of the game and let people have fun. But it does go both ways. So let me read a couple comments here. What I wrote was, I'm in favor of this, but it will be an adjustment and loss for some. Loss because of the fact it might be a treasured weapon, something they've used a lot, something that they earned and really enjoyed. And so what do you think? So here comes other people. And Buffer said, leveling the weapon ability playing field makes the most sense. Player levels, abilities, and amount of special equipment bring reasonable advantages. Some people are better players due to time invested. So he's saying if you level the weapon playing field so that they're in a tighter range, you can balance enemies against them better, and then player skill is more likely to win out, which is one way of looking at it, and that does make sense. Let's see. Ben said, I enjoy the few legacy weapons I have, but I don't do PvP, so I'm not using them on players. I get the balance issue, some such as someone being taken down by someone with an OP weapon, or stuff like Earl taken down by one player very quickly, and that makes sense to me. So he's saying that he likes to use them in special circumstances only, but does enjoy having it.
You just mentioned
What
taking
else?
one person taking Earl down. It just made me think, oh, we've got the coffee machine now. Like, wasn't that a coffee exploit that person was using?
And the thing is that, I mean, there's still weapons that are legal in the game that do far more damage than the average player's guns. That still go into those events and destroy bosses.
Yeah, there are different metas for sure. There are other ways to get high damage between sneak and bloodied and all kinds of chems and stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's not like they're going to stop. The 8-second queen fight. It's just not going to be from explosive Gatling lasers.
I feel like it may take a lot more prep and skill to do it. And I really think that with the tweak with how strong legacies have been in the last 6 to 8 months, especially, we'll go back to where, they were sometimes dominating a year or two ago with how quickly fights would go. And we'd be like, oh God, that was done in a minute, but the 6 seconds, the 10 seconds we've been seeing, it's just ridiculous. Like, I think this will make a bigger difference.
I thought that was hyperbole. You're actually saying literal 6 to 10 second Earl fights.
Oh yeah. Have you not been at a queen fight where like the launches, the queen comes up, she screeches, she lands and she's dead?
It has been months since I've gone to a queen fight. I don't know why. I just haven't been to one of those in forever.
No, and that's cool.
I haven't
Flaps.
I haven't launched myself 2 years at least, easily.
Mm-hmm.
Like new cards, I get them in my my chore board rewards, and I toss them in the vendor or throw them on the ground. They're garbage to me.
Yeah. You have something as spongy as Earl, for instance. Earl, in my mind, is the ultimate sponge. The Colossus,
that's
takes
ridiculous.
forever. Legacies actually make that better. Now, don't get me wrong. Right, with how strong it's been lately, Earl can go down way too fast too. But in the past, before they got quite as where they are now, they would really help. Because I don't mind a 10 to 15-minute Earl fight, but when you're going 20 or more, I mean, it's long, it's a slog, it's ammunition. So yeah, there is a balance, but I do feel getting rid of them will help balance. So just going on, Spooky Dave, in response to Fen saying, I wanted this to happen before Wastelanders, but I understand the dismay. Dave says, that's when they should have done it, before it spiraled out of control for almost 4 years. If they killed them 4 years ago, it would have affected a very small segment of the player base. There are so many duped legacies out there now that it's going to affect a lot of people. And that's true. There are a lot of people who at this point do have them and are more likely to be affected, whether they got it via trade, real world money, etc. However, I say that a whole lot of the responses on this thread are people who say, I have a legacy and I'm still happy with this, because they're recognizing how much trouble it's causing. Xbox overrun with dupe Gatling plasmas, flamers, and laser rifles. Stopped doing public events and public lobbies a long time ago because of the way people use them. Get down. I want to look for and find one for you that is a kind of contrary point, because the majority are in favor, but there are plenty who are. Some of them are just like, my weapons, I had fun with it. You know what I mean? Which, yeah, that's great, but how are you using them?
Yeah, if you're affecting other people's gameplay, it can be problematic. But seriously, if you're like playing solo and you have your fun weapons, I do not give a fuck.
Yeah, so okay, here's two. So Reddy says, as much as I hate legacy weapons for their usage by the toxic PvP players, they become very helpful in difficult events like eviction notice and colossal problems if only 3 players show up. Makes sense. A12 Game Over says, I mostly run solo. My legacy is very helpful. I don't use it around other people. Yeah, totally. And if you earn that, you should be able to play that way.
Yeah.
Bree, another friend, Bree, says, I'm a little heartbroken by this. My 2-shot explosive Tesla was one of the first weapons I fell in love with before it became non-legacy, so even way back in the day. Oftentimes, it still did not do as much damage as a non-legacy. I understand a lot of them were problems, but my Tesla was a good little Tesla.
They should allow people to keep them in a private custom server. Yes, you should be able to access them and keep them there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are people who just, go all over the place on it, but it's going to be a big
and
thing.
I don't think they've got that much finesse.
No.
That's too much programming power right there.
If I may just say, on the strong side, okay, let's do the strong arguments here. So on the strong opinion side, Eleonora, our friend Eleonora says, thank the fuck. Not one to mince words. That is her opinion on it. And on the other side, let's see, it's a slightly more, in my opinion, toxic response, but let's see what they said. LMFAO. There goes 85% of the player base.
80. What?
Of course not.
85%.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Who's that delusional person? Good Lord.
Yeah, I wanted to go with extreme examples. And no, the majority of people, I feel like a lot of people's legacies are fine with it.
Yeah, that's somebody that only knows dupers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happens when I wake up after this update and go, time to play my character, load. Oh my God, my Deathclaw Gauntlet is gone. I had no idea it was a legacy. I had no idea that the thing on there that was a magic power. But what happens when that happens? I just get fucked.
Yes.
Not a fan of that. I know that won't happen because
some people, don't know if certain things are legacy. Now, also, the question is out there: is this just weapons, or is other things too, like jetpacks and excavators, for instance, are legacy? And we don't know if those are going to stay. Right now, it's just showing on weapons.
How's a jetpack?
Might affect other things.
How's a jetpack legendary or legacy? God, I still don't even know what that means.
I saw something about one of the new jetpacks can be mounted on helmets.
Nice.
Yeah, like the ones you could add as mods on like arm. Do you remember when Freighter did that? He actually managed to mount jetpacks on the arms of his power armor.
Oh, that's great.
It was ridiculous. Clint mentions in chat, you're talking about strong weapons, Ray, and he says, my Vampire Flamer Enclave Plasma will take down the Queen in 30 seconds once she lands. But it isn't legacy, just takes grinding to get one. And yeah, that's a great example. There's a reason why people love the Enclave Flamer Plasma. If you can get the right drop and get the right attachments on it, that is one of the most powerful weapons out there right now that is not legacy, and it will take them down quicker. Now, 30 seconds, I believe you when you say it. I mean, I usually see longer than that, but a minute or so, if you're there with other people. Yeah, I've totally seen that.
So I was going to say, what attachments do you have? I have one of those, and there's, I mean, granted, I haven't done the Queen in a long time, but I doubt there's any way it would take her down in 30 seconds. That's crazy.
It's not, perk and build and all that. Yeah, you got to grind it and make it work.
Yeah, I never load the right cards and shit.
Yeah, Clint says when other people are shooting too. So that's when it's a group effort. You can get her down faster like that. And that makes sense. At least everybody gets to help, So it's going to be controversial. I'm glad they're doing it. I think for the long-term health of the game, it's important to at least pull back some of this stuff. Maybe, and oh gosh, I'm sorry everybody out there, maybe they will reduce the damage that you can do with unyielding as well. Bloodied is, okay, so this is not my opinion. I think Bloodied is fine as it is because it's one of the cases where it doesn't affect other people much, just you. But there are people who feel that the Bloodied build is too dominant and dominates things. And I do understand that if you made unyielding less effective and changed it from getting 3 special for full unyielding to only 2 per item, maybe, nerf it a little bit. But so often, the solution to balancing is to nerf things, to pull stuff away, to take away, hurt my shotguns, to hurt melee. Like when unarmed was so darn good for the first year and a half, 2 years. And then they nerfed unarmed. And balancing down always is not necessarily the best. Balance up. Maybe let Bloodied stay where it is, but, boost your other stuff. Because Junkies is kind of competitive with Bloodied. Now Gourmands and a few others are kind of competitive with Bloodied, other metas. Boost those a little bit. Don't reduce Bloodied. That's kind of my opinion there.
You ever run a Junkie build? I know Steve did it a bunch, and I tried it for a little, but it is so tough to maintain 5 addictions to 5 different chemicals. You have to you have to be on your chems game. I've never really cared about chems before, but you have to have a steady supply of chems to keep that your damage maxed out with the. I thought it was a lot high maintenance. You know what I mean? I was constantly having to make or go find and buy chems. I thought Junkie was a little tough to maintain. Bloodied, though, I die every 2 seconds. I just can't do a bloodied build. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to find the right balance and how bloodied you want to be, and and cards for survivability. Make sure Nerd Rage and Serendipity are mounted, all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's all fine and good. I mean, so Clint's vampire flamer plasma is going to now get duped, and everybody will have one.
It will start to be more likely to. Yeah. No,
because that's what the dupers are always going to do the most, popular, most powerful, most OP stuff, and so because that's what they're going to get the most scratch for.
Yeah, and they need that. They need that scratch. But if it's a compressed scale, I'm not okay with the duping, but I do feel that that's a better item to have been duped than the more powerful. You know what I mean? If you do 100% more damage or 300% more damage, I don't know. It's keep it a little more reasonable. But opinions will vary. And I wanted to bring it up because it's going to be a big topic the next little bit.
Yeah.
Also, Nuka World on Tour is a game changer according to some.
Woohoo! And out soonish, right?
Soonish, yeah. PTS, you know how they're doing a week on, a week off. So PTS just relaunched again, which is when we heard about the legacy changes.
Yeah.
And it's got some stuff Nuka World on Tour. Now, everything is not working perfectly as it is because I had a friend, I haven't played it much myself
yet. I tell you, shocked.
Yeah, but a friend trying to queue for an event and unable to start, it's got the arcade machines in there, but it's mostly working for people. Looks great. Just the atmosphere is great. It's going to add so many various items, small challenges, a social space to the game. The new Ultra Sight Abomination or whatever he's called, world boss, it's going to add a lot to do. So basically, not as many quests as Wastelanders, of course, but it might have the impact to the game that Wastelanders did, more than the two Brotherhood ones did.
Yeah, Wastelanders
outside
really reshaped the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Also,
wow, that's exciting.
7th anniversary of Fallout 4, like you mentioned earlier.
Happy birthday, everyone.
Happy birthday.
Did you happen to pick up Fallout 4? Did you play that one? Did you happen to play any Fallout 4, you guys?
I have heard of this game. Yeah.
My memory and Facebook came up the other day. I was heading out to buy Fallout 4 or whatever. Or I was did anyone pick up Fallout 4 today? I was just oh Lord, that's funny.
That's great. Yeah, right. You're does anyone else play this game? I might give it a try.
It's I posted it and I was yeah, I've played. I ended up playing it a couple of times, you guys, once or twice.
Yeah.
I played it a few. Just a little.
You may not have noticed, but you can build different character in that game.
Nuh-uh. Really?
Yeah,
More than one? Never.
You can get followers too, I hear.
Gee whiz. You guys, I just might have to pick up this Fallout 4, check it out a little more. So anyway, happy anniversary.
Birthday.
That's great. That means our show's over 7 years old, and it's been quite a journey. Thank you, Fallout 4, for all you've done for us.
We have in Facebook other people posting memories too. Tyrell posted one too. 7 years ago, he got his Fallout 4 Pip-Boy set. So he got the little Pip-Boy edition came with the Pip-Boy and the case and all that cool stuff.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, what edition did you guys get? Do you remember what you...
I actually got an Xbox.
My Xbox was the Fallout 4 bundle, now that I think about it. Did you get that too, Jess?
Yes. So what I did,
awesome.
I got Fallout 4 the day of launch in the case initially on my old Xbox One. And then I'm that was when I decided I needed a second Xbox. So I went to the store a couple days later and I bought an Xbox Fallout 4 edition. And that's how I got my Xbox, second Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah, that was totally my my first Xbox. And that was a big decision. I was a PlayStation player before then. My Skyrim days originally I was all on PlayStation 3, so that was
That's amazing.
a huge move going over to Xbox, and it was just because most of the people in our group were Xbox players. You know what I mean? I think I did a head count by percentage, being like, well, it looks like we have more Xbox players, so I better get an Xbox so I can interact with this group more.
And we are glad you did. All the memories. Jeff mentioning that his girlfriend at the time, now his wife, Jeff, who joined us before on the show, said she tracked down one of these as well. And he says, I'm an Xbox guy. She found the Pip-Boy edition, but only on PlayStation. So I still have an unopened PlayStation copy of the game in order to get the collector's edition on my shelf.
That's hilarious. The Pip-Boy
That's
edition,
awesome.
it came with like the plastic, like prop, like Pip-Boy on your arm, and you were supposed to be able to
Slide your cell phone in.
phone in it and play the game on your. No, you're supposed to be able to. Your phone was. It was that app, right? And
Yeah.
you could like sync it with the game and like do your map on your Pip-Boy on your arm while you're playing the game, right? Did that ever work? Did that ever work? Well, I never actually tried to do that.
Yeah, I used to use it as from a map.
That's awesome.
My first playthrough, I used it a lot. Mhm.
Cool.
I
Great.
stopped after that because it was a little bit unwieldy, but definitely sometimes.
I have that app on my phone still, so I can play Grogneck.
I mean, priorities, right? Your second favorite Fallout game, Grognak.
I fucking love that game, and it actually kind of reminds me of Fallout 1 a little bit, since it's like turn-based and like you have initiative, and like I have this, so I get to go first, and it's my turn, and I get to attack, and I have this many points, and yeah, so there's some connections there.
I love that vibe. Early Final Fantasy, Dragon Warrior, and stuff.
yeah.
So happy birthday! And speaking of birthdays, today is the 11th anniversary of Skyrim.
Holy cow, they love releasing games this time of year, don't they?
Some games.
Yeah, supposed to be some space game, I heard.
Hopefully they go back to the Morrowind dates or Oblivion and do it spring, because I do not want to have to wait a whole year for my Starfield.
I saw Jerry post like "Happy Starfield Day." Everyone's like, "Oh, Jerry,
He's such a
you got
Jerry.
him, you got him, Jerry." That's awesome.
He's so good.
good job.
Yeah, it's funny. We've had a number of new people join our group, our Facebook group again the last couple of weeks. One of them, Dumpling Head, came in. Kelly, she's almost on Scorecation. She was
nice.
85. She wrote like 5 days ago, so she's got to be knocking on the door now.
Sweet.
Scorecation!
Good luck in the home stretch.
This morning, what I did instead of going to bed or working on things, I went through old Skyrim screenshots for a while, just revisiting.
Those are beautiful. I loved it. They're all like of these gigantic moons and aurora borealis and stuff. I love Skyrim screenshots. Those are the best.
You can get lost in it for sure. I've got rookie numbers though. When it comes to Skyrim playthroughs, get ready to laugh, right? I counted. I technically have only had 5 playthroughs of Skyrim.
He did that yesterday, I think.
He can fit in at least 6 playthroughs before breakfast. Yeah.
Exactly, right? It's like, I killed more characters today than you've ever created. That's great.
Now, I mean, I have some saves I've gone back to and loaded new mods or done branching paths, but yeah, only 5 like full playthroughs. I mean, a playthrough is going to be at least 100 hours, right? So that's not that weird. But
what system were you on? You're looking at your Xbox?
80% Xbox, probably. Yeah, I've done a playthrough and a half on PC because I've done a full playthrough on PC once and another time without DLC. And then otherwise, it's been all Xbox. 3 playthroughs
And
there.
It's like you don't. Okay, I was just trying to think how many different formats you could have played on, but you don't do.
I played it on
Switch.
360,
played on
Xbox
360?
One,
Oh, Lord.
PC,
Oh,
and
Lord.
Xbox Series X.
Oh,
So yeah, I
Lord.
played on 4 different systems.
That's crazy. Stop
And have I
buying the
purchased it?
game. Stop it.
I purchased it all those times. So yeah. I don't have a copy for Switch. I don't have a copy for PlayStation, but everything else I could, I do.
Well, it's given us $250 worth of entertainment, so why not spend $250 on it, right?
I mean, it's why I joined Skyrim Addict and Fallout Feed group.
Yeah.
I did
me
not
in
join
too.
for Fallout. Dirty little secret. I mean, you guys know. But yeah, it was just after Fallout 4 came out, but I was already playing Fallout 4, and a couple months after, they had started talking about Skyrim Special Edition. We'd heard about that, and I'm like, God, I'm gonna get back into Skyrim because I'd already been playing Fallout 4, of course. I bought it right when it came out, like I said, but I hadn't found the group yet. And so yeah, what Word of Skyrim Special Edition came out at E3 or whatever it was, and I'm like, oh, let's do that. And I should check out more podcasts. And so that's when I started listening to Skyrim Addict, and then soon after the Fallout feed, when I joined the group, and I'm like, hey everybody, I'm Jess. What's up?
That's hilarious. You're like, oh, I love this dragon show. Oh wait, you guys do Fallout too?
Exactly. Yeah.
Bonus.
That's how you know you're home, right?
Hmm.
But that's pretty much it
Yep.
for my
Oh.
iguana bits. There was the Atomic Shop did happen. It's been pretty great lately, I have to say. We've had some really
Yeah.
good shops.
I picked up the bat lamp today just because I was like, I need that.
Nice. Don't forget your lean-to survival tent. There is a new tent that is kind of like a wooden
Yeah.
lean-to.
It's
For Fallout
fun.
First.
I actually like that. I put it out. There's like a weird dirt mound, but it's really kind of fun. I thought it was neat. It doesn't
That
have like a
WTF.
yeah. Sorry.
There's
go
a
ahead.
WTF modern art sculpture too. You know that modern art sculpture, the wooden thing. It's all
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, that's free. Actually, one thing I didn't mention in my gameplay, I did a treasure map day on Sunday. I jumped in with some friends and did a
Oh,
bunch of treasure
fun.
maps.
Yep, those are great.
Haven't done it in forever. It was fun. And the Slocum Joe's set. So you get that coffee maker. It's really cool.
Did
It's
you
really-
get the whole set? I just got the coffee maker. I didn't get the whole tiled counter set. Did you get the whole set?
I can't afford it. I already bought Adams last month, and I got my trust fund Adams. There's been so much good stuff lately, like I just said. Between the Rest in Peace bundle building set and then the mortuary set we got and a few other things, I think I picked up only the bat lamp. And
Bat lamp.
no, that was from last time. I already did the bat shadow lamp and the tomb bed and all that, so I got that whole set. I picked up one thing from this one. I'm not sure. It might have been the coffee machine. It probably
I
was.
definitely got that coffee machine.
Yeah, canned coffee is really good for AP for sure.
Yeah, I just thought it would be neat to have coffee and popcorn out by your vendor, just sort of like people get a snack as they shop, you know.
Well, that's all I got there for the iguana bits. Anyone else have something?
So I'm going to need to go play some more Fallout 4.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
What
Why?
happened? What happened, Ray?
So by this time next week, I will have more hours in No Man's Sky.
Then
And I
Fallout 4?
already have more hours in Skyrim.
Wait, so Skyrim is now your highest,
Yes, Skyrim's the highest.
but you're saying
No Man's Sky is gonna soon?
about to jump Fallout 4 and go into
Yeah.
second?
I've only got 10 hours difference between
Wow.
No Man's Sky and Fallout 4.
Pull an Andrew and just sit on the menu or something and let it count.
Now, well, and granted, I mean, I've got hours in 76 and then New Vegas and Fallout 3.
Mm-hmm.
So the Fallout franchise is still solid.
But that's funny. I was tempted. Of my friend Max actually used our Fallout 4 generators for a new stream playthrough she was doing. Asked me all kinds of questions about how to use our random generators for Fallout 4, going through how the
nice.
special and the Fallout feed fairness factor and all that good stuff.
The
And-
fucking fairness factor.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh,
funny.
Lord.
It was in my Fallout for Hope group. She actually was talking to some people there about it, which I'm like, oh, this is great. Thanks for checking it out. And people were asking, and I'm like, yeah, I mentioned Fallout Feed Fairness Factor, and someone said
Oh,
that's a
Lord.
fantastic name. I'm like, yeah, it is. I think Lee came up with it, and I checked, and yeah, it was Lee who came up with it back in the day. But
Well,
because I wasn't sure it was Lee or
goodness.
Steve, you know. But yeah, those are always there and available for people to use, whether you're doing a round table or not. And so she's doing it for a whole stream playthrough, a specialized kind of role play, but with rules stream playthrough that she's doing.
No way. People are using the generator? That's awesome. Good
I
job.
love it. Makes me happy to see. Yeah, so that was fun. Back on topic, it made me think, yeah, Fallout 4. Geez, that would be fun. We're so bad. We got it. Fallout 1, we've got to knuckle down and do it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play Fallout 4 too as well because the Creation Club stuff, every once in a while I see posts about it. I'm like, damn, I need to log in. I keep forgetting they post stuff all the time and I still need to, and I always forget to log in. But I need to be more diligent at least once a week or every couple weeks, hop in and just peruse, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remembered free cam building. I'm looking over the PTS notes. Building with the free camera. Oh,
Quick question. Totally side note. On the last couple scoreboards, I feel like we still haven't gotten any like special boosting apparatuses, machines, equipment. You know what I mean? Like the weight bench for strength, the punching bag for agility, the wizard luck draw. What else do we have?
we just had the pump them up like, the arm wrestling machine this last season.
What does that do?
I think that actually does charisma, not strength.
Charisma? The arm machine does charisma?
I might be speaking out of school. I honestly don't remember,
Right,
but
I'll
I think
have to
so.
look into that. That'd be interesting. But so we're still missing perception, endurance, and intelligence. And we had the photo opticon thing in Fallout 4.
Yeah, the 4-opter. Mm-hmm.
What was endurance in 4? I don't remember.
Was it the bike? Did the bike do endurance?
What does the bike do? We already have the bike. We have that in 76. Is that endurance?
Yeah, but I don't think it does endurance in 76.
What does it do? What does it do in 76 then, if not endurance?
Does it do anything, or is it just a bike?
It has to do something. It's got to be endurance. That's got to be okay. I just didn't write that one down. Okay, so we do have the bike. That's got to be endurance. So we just need perception and intelligence, right? What was intelligence in 4? I feel dumb.
I mean, we know the slot machine was luck, right?
Yeah, you're right. Slot machine. All right. Well, yeah. So I every once in a while I just want to look at this. So I need to find this arm machine and double.
Let's look those back up. It'll be a scream at your phone list.
All right. Yeah. Oh, shh. God damn.
Study now.
All right, you guys. And on our way, Jess, did you have any other stuff you want to get into?
No, all
cool.
good.
Thanks so much. Hey, guys, I just wanted to, on our way out the door here,
Scorecation.
give a little proper salute to all of our soldiers out there in the field who are put in the hard work to get to Scorecation.
Scorecation!
I'm not going to mispronounce this. Is this Richo or Rico? What do you think? Let's say Rico.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure. We talk a lot in the Facebook group, but I'm not sure the pronunciation.
I can't ever say things out loud. But congratulations
Scorecation!
on your scorecations. Eric Solior, sir,
Scorecation!
enjoy marking nothing off of your list every day. And, of course, Lee.
Scorecation!
That was a double Lee, double dip, scorecation, Lee skinny double dip, double trip dip in this.
I got another one.
Uh-oh, we got
Captain
more.
Canuck.
Captain
Captain Canuck hit Scorecation.
Scorecation for Captain Canuck. Congratulations, everyone, on getting to Scorecation. And hopefully you appreciate your time. And Eric, who blows through Scorecation and then just keeps playing. He's like level 160 for his scoreboard. Go play something else.
Yeah, I'm 107 this time now. Maybe 108. I can't stop, Andrea. We can't stop.
Can't stop. Don't want to stop. Can't do it. We need to go play Fallout 1. Jess, stop. We need to go play Fallout 1.
Right.
All right. We're done. Cut this out. Ray, Jess, do you have anything else you'd like to get into this evening?
I mean, wouldn't it be ironic if I was the only one that did the Fallout 1 roundtable?
Yeah, Ray would be like, yeah, I'm going to get through this one. Yeah, no, that would be incredible if that happened. You can find him over there at the Twitters at RayLB and at BBCISSS for the No Man's Sky show. Ray, thanks so much for hopping on.
Good times.
You can find her at You Wastelanders, also at Dames Who Game, and at Sleep is 4T. Jess, thank you so much.
Find me there while we still have Twitter. Thanks, y'all.
While it's what are we doing? What is? No, I'm serious. We're
It's
starting.
it's hyperbole. We might have a little bit longer.
We might have a
we'll
little
see
bit
if it
longer, but I'm
crashes
gonna
or
start.
not.
I'm gonna start saying, and you can find us at Discord. But what is my what is the information I need to plug in there?
Feed at mastodon.ukulele. I don't know. This is a weird app.com.
Discord. Yes.
Exactly.
So you can find me at Andy Android. The show is at the Fallout Feed. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout Feed, and we will see you in the Wasteland.
Happy Scorecation,
Thank
right?
you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable.
Scorecation!
If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com.
Scorecation!
For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.
Scorecation!
Yeah, I'm excited to meet my first handy, actually.
Because that's what they're going to get the most scratch for.
Yeah, and they need that. They need that scratch. I'm tweaking this, I'm tweaking that. I don't mind a 10 to 15 minute, but when you're going 20 or more, I mean, it's long, it's a slog.